This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
This episode is brought to you by patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. It helps support the show, doesn't it, Mason?
Yes.
And my YouTube channel, which people might not like as much as this show, but what do you do?
Exactly right. Or more. But what are they doing here?
I don't know.
I say, cut out the middleman. Just give us money.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to the final episode of the year of the Weekly Planet podcast, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me, as always, is my co-host, Nick Mason.
For an instant there,
something
you were going through that, and I thought you were going to say, the final episode of the Weekly Planet ever.
That's right.
I'm like, well, this is a fine time to learn this. Hooray, let's go.
We didn't get a sponsor this week, and quite frankly, I'm not doing this for nothing. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. That's absolutely right. That's right. That's right. No free rides.
No free rides. It is, of course, our best and worst and kind of awards of the year.
It's we've made it through another year. Big old celebration. So why not celebrate with one can of Coke that you've opened for yourself over there?
I didn't know, because often
you didn't know it was going to be here. You didn't know it was going to be here.
I only have one in the fridge, and I assumed that you...
Sometimes I bring my own.
You sometimes bring your own, yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Next time I'll buy
Yours also
two.
says share a Coke with Dad. I
Well,
feel
yeah,
that's another pot shot at me, because I'm not a dad and you're a dad.
Yeah, and I hate your dad.
Yeah, that's also true, yeah. Yeah. And he would never dream of sharing a Coke with me. He'd be like, no, sir.
No, sir. A couple bits of news, though, up top, of course.
News winding down this year, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely is, yeah. But that being said, we are also recording this on the Friday because I'll be away for the weekend.
And so obviously, if the big news strikes, we're going to reconvene.
Yeah,
You're going to come back from your holiday.
That's right. Drag you out of retirement because it's our last episode.
That's right. We'll bring it back just for that one thing. Well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed a bunch of celebrities die.
Yeah, exactly.
Or are cancelled.
Can you imagine?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. I mean, Kevin Spacey's back, isn't he?
Didn't he... Did you watch that video in its entirety? Didn't he do one last year as well? He's settled on a Christmas tradition, which is rather than stay away from publicity forever because of all the horrible things he's allegedly done, he's decided to release Christmas videos sort of in character as his character from House of Cards.
Underwood, but also not enough that you could sue him for it.
Yeah, and they're all vaguely threatening.
Yeah.
As is the spirit of the season.
And also, one of his accusers was also died like 9 hours up, like committed suicide 9 hours after this one came out. I just think that, make of that what you will.
Yes.
I'm not saying he murdered anybody, is what I'm saying, but you don't think that's going to have an impact on the people that you may have affected by putting things out like that? I don't know. That's all
Anyway, it's wild that he's releasing these.
Yeah, it's really... I mean, you know what it is?
He did imply that he murdered him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what's wild is also that, like, I think it's just he's got money and he's got nothing to do.
Yeah, right.
I think that's what it comes down to.
And he's a bad person. Yeah. Does that affect your enjoyment of anything he's in now?
It didn't help our rewatch of Superman Returns that we did recently.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
But I never really liked that version.
Yeah, that's
of
true.
Lex Luthor.
You were like, well, this is the icing on the cake.
I don't really think I've seen anything that he's in lately.
I haven't rewatched anything lately.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember what I watched, but it had like, it was an Abrams thing, I think, that I watched recently. So it had like the Bad Hat Harry title card, which is the Usual Suspects title card. And I'm like, ugh. This hurts. Whatever.
Wait, a Bryan Singer thing, you mean?
Oh, it must have been.
Yeah, it could have been that one that they did, The Usual Suspects, I guess.
Yeah.
A couple of Usual Suspects there. Those bloody two, am I right?
Yes, they're yuck.
Yeah, they're yuck. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Accused of sex crimes, Mason.
That's yuck, in my opinion. Yeah. To put it lightly. I don't mind. You know, sometimes we say some controversial things on this podcast. And
we try to keep politics out of it,
and we lose some listeners, but I don't mind losing listeners over the fact that I think sex crimes are yuck.
Bold. Mm-hmm. David Ayer, though, has talked about the Suicide Squad sequel. Suicide Squad Squeakquel. It's a squeakquel. It's an Alvin and the Chipmunk squeakquel.
Suicide Squid, the squeakquel.
He says on Twitter that it's not a sequel, it's a reinvention, and James Gunn is going to absolutely knock it out of the park. I'm cheering every step of the way, which is kind of as gracious as you can be. I feel like that's a nice...
That's way more gracious than you need to be.
Yeah, definitely.
He should have been like, I reckon this one's going to suck.
Yeah,
They're not going to hire me again, so this one's going to suck.
So I mean, that kind of confirms what's going on because because again, it's a lot of the same cast and
which seems to be, again, it seems to be DC's strategy going forward. Just whatever kind of worked last time, let's keep it moving. Let's just keep it moving.
We'll do some of that and
some unconnected stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
the way that Justice League isn't really connected to the other movies.
Yeah, and I mean that's the comic book way. I mean, it's interesting that nobody did this initially. You know, it's the idea that
I mean they sort of used to do it.
Yeah, with your Green Lanterns and your what have you.
But even like the Batman movies, it was kind of like I'm talking about the Burton to Schumacher.
Yeah, right.
They keep some of it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay, well, it's a return to form then.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we're back to the 90s.
Yeah.
That golden era of comic book
Oh my God,
movies.
I can't wait until the Suicide Squad, they get in their Suicide Squad van, they get some Happy Meal toys from McDonald's, they get drive-through and they're like,
Terrific.
It's a little version of me, Slipknot, the sex criminal who dies, whose head explodes.
Great stuff.
Yeah, good.
Full Circle Cinema has reported that Daniel Radcliffe is apparently up for the role of Mark Spector in the Moon Knight televisual series on Disney Plus.
Who is claiming this as a rumor?
Full Circle Cinema.
Never heard of him.
Me neither. But that's not to say that they didn't say this, because they did.
I mean, they certainly did. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I like it.
Yeah, I don't
he can
mind
play
either.
crazy.
People have also talked about he'd be a good Wolverine or whatever, and he's even come out and being like, don't say that. People
Well,
yell
I guess.
at me.
Well, I mean, Radcliffe is in this position where he doesn't need to work at all.
Yeah.
To the best of my knowledge, like unless he has a number of secret
He's at the
divorces.
Radcliffe of his career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go any direction.
That's
you
right.
could jump off it.
Yeah.
Or do an ollie.
I was going to say he could do a 720 off that Radcliffe. Yeah, like I mean, he's one of those people who has enough insane franchise money, I assume, to do only things that he's interested in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, he
does that show about the afterlife with Steve Buscemi as God or whatever. You seen that one?
Oh yeah. Well, I've seen a poster for it.
It's kind of like a not as good version of The Good Place.
Okay, right.
It's completely serviceable. There's
Yeah, right.
like good people in it, but it's.
But I
just
guess
fun.
I also wonder if like people in that position are also compelled to do things. Like,
Yes.
like they feel like, well, why not have another successful thing?
Yes.
Like, are they ego driven? I don't know. But I mean, I also feel like people like Radcliffe or like Emma Watson, who was in the Harry Potter, like they're happy to be out.
Yeah,
I think, in a lot of
absolutely.
instances.
Yeah, definitely.
So, anyway, I would see Daniel Radcliffe as Mark
Yeah.
Spector. I guess the biggest problem people would probably have is he's not tall, and
But nobody's tall in
No,
Hollywood.
exactly. That's true. Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
You
They
get
could-
that surgery.
I was going to say they could fix his legs in post, but yeah, you could get the surgery also.
Or just hire everybody short.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the
We'll
books.
stand on some golden milk crates. Pure gold.
Well, because Harry Potter in the books is like 6'1", maybe.
Is he really?
Yeah, by the end, yeah.
Oh.
They're like, there's even...
Because they stretch him out.
They're like, you're so tall now, Harry. Like, there's lines about that.
Okay,
and then
right.
you see him next to like...
And Hermione, you're so white. You've been so white this whole time.
There's been, like, because if you see him next to like...
And trans people don't exist or something in this universe. Rowling said some stuff this week. I don't
I
want to
know,
get into
yeah.
it. I don't care.
I didn't
enough.
really look into it.
I don't care enough about Rowling.
So, just quickly on Star Wars. We talked about last week...
We weren't talking about Star Wars.
Nah, we're talking about Star Wars.
Oh my
mate.
God.
You thought last week was the only Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I think this is kind of interesting because we talked about how they have that lesbian kiss at the end of Star Wars, the last one, Rise of Skywalker.
Good recovery there.
Thank you. I knew what it was.
Your brain has developed a self-defense mechanism for when you say the wrong name, and it's just to keep on rolling.
Like, we were talking about how, because it's not being...
The Force is strong in the most recent Star Wars movie. The last Star Wars movie we'll see for a couple of years, The Rise of Skywalker.
Perfect. The return of characters you know and love.
Yeah, The Rise of Skywalker.
Well, we talked about how in China it didn't do well regardless. So
Fear
it
of
doesn't really
Ghosts.
Fear of Ghosts. The kiss doesn't really make it.
But they cut it out in Singapore.
They cut it out in Singapore is
Right,
the point.
okay, yeah.
And that also, since then, Oscar Isaac has come out and said that, the Disney higher-ups were very much like, we don't want to take it this direction for the characters. So apparently he pushed for it a little bit and they were like, no. So they, because
Right, okay.
I gave them the benefit of the doubt and be like, they're just doing baby steps and they're not doing it to appease foreign entities, but it turns out that's very much what they're doing.
yeah.
Why did I give anybody the benefit of the doubt even for a second, Mason?
No, I never do that.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac also said, I think, that when the prequels came out, in an interview, he said when the prequels were released, he and his friends like rigorously practiced all the lightsaber duels, like all the choreography and stuff. And then somebody worked it out that he was in his 20s when those movies were released.
Nothing wrong with that.
I was going to say, yeah. Why not enjoy a delightful hobby involving wonderful choreography?
Clacking some sticks
Clacking
together.
some sticks together in a park, probably, or a garage.
The other thing is when we're
That means there's probably some footage of that.
like a CCTV.
No, I was going to say like on a flip phone somewhere.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
Some incredibly blocky, grainy footage of them in a garage just fighting each other with sticks.
Terrific.
Somebody's got that.
Somebody's
As soon
definitely
as
got
somebody can unearth that from a box and find a charger that works on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
he's going down.
He's going down. That's right. He's cancelled.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of a shame that was the direction it went in. But I'm also, why am I surprised? I shouldn't be, should I? Yeah, but baby steps, benefit of the doubt, Mason.
let's give more people the benefit of the doubt currently.
Yeah, but as far as we've got some videos this week on the biggest hits and misses of the year, but Disney's box office has accounted for 80% of all sales this year.
That's
80%.
less than Wait, did you say 8 or 80?
80.
Okay, well that's about as much as I thought.
Yeah, but
I was like 8%. Oh, good on independent film producers for releasing other
But you know
things.
what's super interesting about this is Pixelbuster put these stats up, and I didn't double check them, so let's assume they're correct.
Let's give them the benefit of the doubt to Pixelbuster, a website I've not heard of until this very
Twitter
moment,
user.
just like the previous one.
Yes. So bear in mind, this year,
Yeah, the
80%.
website, Pixelbuster's
Pixelbusters.
Twitter page.
Yes. So 2014, 15%. 2015, 19%. 2016, 26%. 2017, 21%. 2018, 26%. Then this year,
Wow.
80.
So what did they purchase in between?
It's not a purchase. It's just this year was like, well, they have purchased some stuff. Yeah, I guess they have. Well, in that time period, Marvel's gotten huge. Star Wars is consistently pretty good for the most part. This latest one, not as much.
I guess they bought Fox.
They
When was
bought
that?
Fox, but I don't think that helped because none of those. I think every Fox property didn't make money that they bought this year.
Right, but I mean, doesn't Fox, at least up until recently, don't they do a lot of indie stuff? And not indie, but like Fox Searchlight.
Oh yeah, maybe,
Like,
but I doubt that's going to dent in
Well, I guess
Avengers
that's probably
Endgame
true.
and
Yeah, right.
Toy Story alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fast. That is a massive
I
jump.
don't think it's going to be as big next year because there's no Star Wars movies. The Marvel stuff they're doing is like there's Black Widow and then a bunch of new properties like Eternals and things like that. So it's not going to be as big next year, but that is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you remember that like in the early to mid 2010s? What are we? Oh, thank God we're in the 20s soon. You can finally say it's the 20s.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to call
I'm going to change my ringtone so it goes. I can't wait.
Like I don't like the aughts.
Start wearing hats. I'm going to start wearing hats, old-timey hats.
The aughts, the teens. What do you...
One of those collars, like the starched collar. It's really painful to wear.
You don't like it, but you have to wear
You
it.
have to wear it because of society.
They'll cancel you.
They will cancel you.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just glad it's going to be the 20s
Yeah,
soon. Thank God.
But you were saying back in the teens.
Yeah, I think because it was like John Carter and like the last remnants of like things they used to make was like the Nutcracker from last year and things like that.
Oh yeah,
Like
okay.
Things that like people.
So
don't really
we're
want.
at the tail end of this kind of.
Yeah.
Let's produce
And, like,
things
the
based
peak
on
of-
songs and
like
rides.
The peak of like Disney Pixar and maybe not so much Star Wars profits because that would have been The Force Awakens, but Marvel in particular, it's got the biggest movie of the year and so on and so forth. Yeah. Just if you want some numbers, Mason, just quickly about Star Wars. Apparently, there's been a bit of an uptick for The Rise of Skywalker after Christmas.
Financially?
It had a bigger Boxing Day than The Last Jedi, apparently. That's not to say that it could drop off or hold. But that being said, the competition that was going to be Cats doesn't look like it's going to be any competition.
People have emailed in this. They've said, "Do you guys want to talk about Cats?" It wasn't out here till
yesterday.
So
Yeah, I didn't get a chance, but I am going to see it.
Yeah, me too.
Claire and I, we're going to have a date night where we
You've
go.
set aside your differences, you and Claire. You're
that's
going
right.
to get back together.
We've reconciled, so we're going to see like ruin
What's the
an
worst that
evening.
could happen
We're going to ruin
by
an
watching
evening
Cats?
Watching Cats. I know I'm going to hate it, and I know you shouldn't go into something like that, but everything about that is like
You might love it though.
I doubt it.
No, I think it's going to be one of those. I think it's going to be a headache-inducing movie. That being said, I'm wondering what version we get because I don't know if you read this.
I can't believe they did this.
So apparently,
So upset, Mason.
So apparently, this is the first time I've ever heard about this, but maybe it's happened before. So apparently, the version that was released into cinemas is now in the process of being patched.
Yes.
So the initial version that was released, there's like unfinished CGI. Like there's scenes where some of the characters still have their human hands.
Judi Dench.
Has her wedding ring
Yeah,
still
it's
on.
fine, don't worry about it.
And just and apparently this movie was made without tracking dots and it was made without mocap suits and stuff like that. So apparently it's just a nightmare. So a lot of stuff they were like, we don't have time for this and it hurts to make
It's
this.
so weird that they did it like that.
So they're apparently going to patch all the stuff they haven't finished yet, like a video game that was not complete upon release.
But also, how much can you patch in a week?
I guess that's probably
what I
true.
mean?
Yeah.
They must have been working on it prior to this.
So I'm wondering, because oftentimes in Australia, you'll go to the cinema and the most recent trailer for a movie has been released online.
Like a month prior.
And then in the when we go to the theater, we still get the old trailer because they haven't updated in
Sorry,
time.
yeah, that's what I meant.
So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wondering, like, will we get the unpatched version, or we get and I'm hoping for the unpatched
Me too.
version. 'Cause
Otherwise, what are we even doing?
exactly. Look,
Are we collapsing as a society?
anyone out there, if you work for Hoyts or Village or whatever, and they give you the option to update, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Quit.
Quit.
Protest.
Exactly. That's right.
Don't do it.
Yes.
We'd quit if it was us.
Yeah.
Just know that.
That
We're
would-
with you.
Yeah. We would be.
Yeah. We're doing this though.
We're not in your position currently, but if we were,
yeah,
we
we'd
would.
do the right thing and
Yeah.
we'd quit.
But so all I know about the director of Cats is
Tom Hooper.
So all I know about Tom Hooper is that he directed Les Mis, and apparently when you're recording, music, or even in for an album or for a movie or whatever, they have what's called a click track, which is basically assorted background cues.
Yes.
Like
it's a person in the background going click, clack, clickety, clack, click, clack,
We're
clickety,
a bunch
clack,
of cats or sad people in France, whatever movie we're talking about.
clickety, clack, clack.
And so
It helps.
Yeah, and so when to jump in.
Yeah.
So apparently, with Les Mis, there was no click track, so people would just sing however they wanted to.
Yeah.
Like they would.
And then they had to do the music around that, is that right?
Yeah, and so they would have to do the music around that and alter scenes around that, and it was apparently a nightmare. I read an interview with some of the musical people, and they were like, "It's so amazing. It was so freeform. They didn't have a click track, and we just got to do the music around that a bit later." And it's like,
seems bad.
It seems bad, and it seems like you're covering for the fact that everyone hated this. so this guy is all about just free form, do whatever you want. Someone will fix it in post.
Yeah,
apparently.
absolutely,
And that's
yeah.
the case with Cats, evidently.
Because they were talking about when they released that why are we still talking about this? But like the making of.
Because Cats is blowing people's minds.
certainly is.
I hope so. Look, here's the thing. My feeling for this is I feel something in this movie. I hope I'm not just
Good or bad?
this is boring. I'm hoping that I go in and it's not just meh. I hope I go in and I'm like, ugh, yeah, this is awful. Like, this makes me feel sick. That's what I want. At least
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a waste of $20.
I completely agree. I'm 100% with you.
Sorry, you were saying.
No, sorry. They released that making of, and they're like, we're not using motion capture. This is new technology. And by new technology, you mean a worse version.
Yeah.
of what
When they
people
say
do.
new technology,
Because I think they were like, it's freeing for the dancers because they're not wearing the mocap suits or whatever, and the performers. But that's bad.
when they say new technology, I think what they mean is more pressure on the visual effects guys afterwards.
Terrific.
That's what they mean by new technology.
This terrible thing.
Yeah.
So I was just going to finish up with some Star Wars numbers. The Rise of Skywalker it performed in the weekend above Rogue One internationally, but also below the other sequel trilogy ones, and well above Solo, which did not do well. It nearly made more than Solo in its first week, and Solo did in its entirety. So is Star Wars dead?
No, absolutely
For
not.
now.
But you're at death's door, Star Wars.
Not really.
Not at all.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, they'll have to do a bit more than that to drive people away. Anyways, it is the time of year where we're talking about the best and worst of the year, Mason. There's of course, Collins put together a list of things that people can go through and vote on. I don't have the results in front of me yet. Message Collins, but it's the middle of the night, so it's not his fault for this. If anything, it's Mason's fault for not reminding me to message him earlier.
Excuse me.
Excuse you, indeed.
Thank you.
But what we thought,
You're forgiven.
Yeah, but I talked about this earlier with him, and these results for what people voted for will go up in the Great Mates group.
On Facebook, great.
Yeah, on Facebook. So please, if you join the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates group, it's a great community if you're not there already. And also you can see, you can vote and see the things.
See the results.
See the results.
You can discuss why people thought that one was good and not good.
That's right. Civilly.
Yeah, civilly.
Yes. Let's start, Mason, with Best Animated Film of the Year.
Okay, give me some nominations.
Give me some nominations. The Lion King. That people are like, well, this is technically live action, but I don't believe so.
No.
I mean, the first shot is apparently.
Right.
But the rest of it is not. Spies in Disguise. I didn't see it. Love the trailer.
Heads up, if you've never listened to one of our best and worst episodes of the year, sometimes we haven't seen a couple of movies in a particular category, or sometimes we haven't seen any of the movies in a category. Will that stop us reviewing and
never
rating them
stopped us
best
from
or
doing
worst?
anything.
No, we'll keep.
And we've definitely forgotten some things.
We'll crown a winner.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
What I noticed about putting this list together this year is there's so much stuff now. I feel like 5 years ago there was very little stuff. And that's why I feel like I'd like to do more topic episodes of the show, but there's always something.
There's always some stuff. And it's also,
Maybe, I mean, I'm not saying we'd split it, but we maybe have to do something else at some point.
Because even a few years ago, there would be one good thing on Netflix in a year, There'd be one good series or one good Netflix movie.
There'd be one Cloverfield movie.
That's right.
And now there's none.
There's none. Bless you, 2019.
Yes. Though I think that was last year. Yeah, no. Well, was it 17 or 8? Doesn't matter. So, Spies in Disguise, Angry Birds 2, Frozen 2, Toy Story 4, Lego Movie 2, Batman vs. Ninja Turtles, which I have not seen yet, but people are loving, and Teen Titans, which again, I have not seen, but people are loving. So what about you? What do you
of those, I think my firm favourite probably Toy Story 4.
Agree.
Because I didn't think it was going to be. I didn't think there was any gas left in the tank of the Toy Story franchise. And it was real good and heartwarming, and everybody had a real good time.
Inclusion of some new characters that were good. I think also there were some older characters which kind of got a bit shortchanged, like some of the original characters.
That's what I want.
That's what I want too. No, so what do you do? I agree. I didn't really like Frozen 2 very much. I quite liked Angry Birds 2.
Okay.
I haven't seen the first one, but
How did you keep up then?
It's birds, isn't it?
How would you know their relative level of angriness?
That's a good question. And I really wanted to see...
That's right, angriness, not anger.
Angriness birds. And I haven't seen Lego Movie 2.
There are purists out there, and they're like, Angry Birds 2 is not an accurate level of the anger of the birds.
No.
Angry Birds 1 nailed it. Angry Birds 2. Angry Birds 2, they're just bringing in like the broad general audience. It's the true fans know the proper level of anger of the Angry Birds.
How angry these birds need to be. Yeah. So, also The Lion King I did not like.
No, me neither.
So, what do you do? Next topic, Mason.
I was going to say, an incredible feat of visual effects and computer-generated animation. I don't care about it. But it made a lot of money, right?
It did.
An extraordinary amount of money.
But Batman v Ninja Turtles and Teen Titans I also really want to watch. Though this year, I will say, there's no Into the Spider-Verse.
There isn't, it's true.
Because I looked at this and I'm like, it's Toy Story 4, but I liked Spider-Verse much more than any of these.
It's Toy Story 4 because it was, the crown jewel of the Pixar treasure room. And it's really well made, and it's, really well executed, but it doesn't blow your mind either. You go, oh, it's congratulations,
as good.
Congratulations on the quality of these movies not dipping at all.
Yeah.
Good work. But yeah, it's not like, whoa, this is, you got to see this right now because it is going to blow your mind.
Absolutely.
And with last year we had Spider-Verse and that did that.
Yes.
So disappointing.
Disappointing
animators all throughout the world. Trying your best, working your hardest. Why couldn't you just come up with your own mind-blowing concept and release it in cinemas to critical and financial acclaim?
That's what I'm saying
you
also.
Dumbasses.
You dumbasses. Who we got here? The best...
There'll be some guy listening to this in like an animation studio. It's like, unsubscribe.
This is the best prequel, sequel, another movie award. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Avengers Endgame, Detective Pikachu, prequel? I guess it's a Pokemon.
What's a sequel to the Pokemon, the first movie?
I guess it is.
But look, they're blacklisted now. After they copyright struck your
That's
Pokemon
true, they
video.
did. They robbed me of that
I
bad
say
revenue.
no more Pokemon talk on this podcast.
Yeah, more like Pokemon.
Unless they sponsor us next year for something. In which case, yes,
you
please.
do have to catch them all.
That's
as many
right.
as you can.
That's right.
Dr.
Charizard.
Dr. Sleep.
Squirtle.
El Camino. Frozen 2. Glass. It Chapter 2, John Wick 3, Jumanji The Next Level, The Lego Movie 2, Shaft, Spider-Man Far From Home, The Rise of Skywalker, Terminator Dark Fate, Terminator 4, Toy Story 4, and X-Men Dark Phoenix. I think it's probably safe, but I really liked Endgame in terms of
sure.
the culmination of things that happened prior.
Yeah, right.
That being and working that in really well, and it's fan servicey, but it works. But I think also you could say the same for El Camino, which came off the back of all of...
Yeah, look, I really liked El Camino, but it's not, again, like a lot of Breaking Bad, it's not something that I enjoy rewatching just because it's all so harrowing and grim in a way. And I enjoyed it, but it did feel like another episode of Breaking Bad, which is always good. I like that world and those... Well, I don't like it. I hate them. I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe Spider-Man Far From Home
Above Endgame?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, Endgame delivered everything I wanted, and
I guess Captain Marvel should be on here as well, I guess, because it's in the universe, but it's more of a spin-off, I guess.
Yeah. You know what? I think they pulled off the Mysterio. Just all the Mysterio stuff.
I need to watch that again.
Yeah, no, it's a good movie.
I don't mind it either. I'm going to say Endgame, though.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But just, I feel like, again, in a world of insane visual effects and the world is exploding and helicarriers are crashing all the time.
Yes.
And we're going out in the universe and there's cosmic cubes and bloody, infinity gems and all. It's an insane universe just to have a movie set on Earth with, high-tech effects.
Yes.
It's to give us some visual effects we hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
That excited me and we're like, oh, this is creative and fun.
Yeah. And comic accurate.
And and a good old-fashioned Spider-Man adventure.
Yeah.
Primo.
Good
work, Spider-Man Far From Home.
I like Spider-Man Far From Home too.
And great performance from everybody, but Gyllenhaal especially.
Yes, absolutely.
Have you seen, I haven't seen it, maybe I'll get to it at some point. John Mulaney's, he's got a kids special.
I haven't seen that yet. Is that good?
I don't know.
Oh, you just said
Gyllenhaal's in it apparently.
Oh, really?
So,
as a kid?
Yeah.
Very good.
No, as an adult. As the insane Jake Gyllenhaal that he is. What's in his head? I don't know.
We don't know.
He's a mystery, that man.
I saw the thing that was like, this is Jake Gyllenhaal from this is his decade, and it starts with Prince of Persia and ends in him and like whatever weird shit he's doing now. You know what I mean? Like Prince of Persia is like cool and tan and like
right.
Now he's just like Gah!
Yeah, that's the Mulaney thing, I think.
Okay, that's what it's from there. Terrific. As far as reboots go, Mason, best reboot.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, well, this is what we've got. Aladdin, Detective Pikachu. I thought we were saying it's a sequel. This is outrageous. This thing that I helped put together. Charlie's Angels, Child's Play, Jane Silent Bob reboot. I would say I haven't seen it because it's not out yet, but I would say it's probably a sequel. Masquerading.
It's called reboot. Though.
Yeah, you're right. Fine.
Yeah. Bearing in mind we're very easily tricked and we take things on face value, so it's probably a reboot.
Yes. Joker, The Lion King, Men in Black, Pet Sematary. I guess Dumbo as well, because Dumbo's technically
What's interesting, I think, about this list is a lot of these movies I didn't see and I have no desire to see.
Yeah, I know, right?
Or there was and some of the ones that I did see, in retrospect, could have missed out on it completely. Men in Black International.
Yeah.
Loved Men in Black 1 when it came out.
And it's also sort of a sequel, I guess.
Yeah, and I'd be sort of, in theory, I'd be sort of jazzed to see a Men in Black reboot / sequel. But this was not good. It was forgettable.
I hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two great starring roles, but
it's just a garbage, nothing movie.
Are we doing best or worst here? What's going on?
Well, we're doing best.
Okay.
So we could. Well, it's the same movies for worst, so we can do it at the same time. I was really surprised by the Aladdin reboot because I thought I would hate it. But that being said, the Joker reboot, if you look at it comparatively to the Jared Leto version, even though I didn't love it, it's a much better version of the character, or a much more compelling than the previous one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I'm going to give it to... If I give it to Aladdin over the Joker, I'll never live it down, will I?
I'm going to give it to Aladdin over the Joker because I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the tweets.
It's what I feel in my heart.
They always end with SMH.
Yeah.
When shaking my head.
Yes.
Somebody be always like, this guy, I can't believe this guy's taking Aladdin over the Joker. How can we trust your opinion of movies ever again? Shaking my head. Bring it on.
And you can't.
You can't. Bring it on.
I think also a big part of that is I had the lowest of expectations for Aladdin.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, I'll give it to that, whatever. But worst, and I'm, you know what? I bet I'd probably say also Charlie's Angels was up there because those other ones aren't good.
I hear it's quite good.
Yeah, but it didn't make any money. So
money is
so
all
it doesn't
that
count.
Yeah.
As far as worst, I will also say Men in Black, even though it's technically a sequel again. It's just crap. Just a crap film with nothing to add to the mythos, and it's not fun or funny or interesting.
Again real quick, just in case.
Aladdin, Detective Pikachu, Charlie's Angels, Child's Play, which is apparently not bad.
Okay.
Jane Silent Bob, Joker, The Lion King, Men in Black, International, Pet Sematary.
I'm going to say
apparently Pet Sematary's alright as well.
I think Lion King.
Oh yeah, that wasn't good, was it?
No. And again, as someone who didn't like the original Lion King.
But I feel like there was more effort creativity, like visually in The Lion King, even though I didn't agree with the way they went just regular animal faces. I feel like it's just so cutting edge. And I think I'm selling the people short who did that.
Yeah, right.
And Men in Black is just kind of like, why did you do this? But then again, Lion King's also like that, isn't it?
You know what is happening here is I'm trying to figure out if what happens a lot of the time is often the worst category. It's the same movie over and over and over again. And I'm like, should I waste Men in Black International on worst reboot when it'll probably be worst movie? No, you know what? You're right. I think Lion King, not good.
Yeah.
It didn't excite me or thrill me, but at the same time, neither did Men in Black International, I don't think.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was just the same old, same old. It was just retreading old ground and hoping people still liked that.
And we didn't.
We didn't like it. No, you're right. Okay, so it's Men in Black.
Yeah. What about this for best?
But you're on thin ice, The Lion King.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay.
If you re-release it next year, but slightly worse, you're on this list.
What about this? Best unnecessary live-action remake of a better thing.
Okay.
Lion King, Aladdin, Dumbo, Maleficent, Lady and the Tramp. Haven't seen those last two, but again, it's Aladdin for me because... Well, I didn't see Dumbo either, actually. I only saw two of these, and I liked Aladdin more than The Lion King.
I've heard Dumbo is bad, so I'm going to give it to Dumbo, I think.
Best unnecessary?
Oh, it's best unnecessary. Yeah. Okay, right. Okay, well, it's best then Aladdin. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about this one? This one's interesting because it's best non-sequel or reboot.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. Ad Astra.
Yep.
Booksmart. I Am Mother. I really like that. Did you watch that? It's on Netflix.
Is it robots?
Yeah.
Robots somehow.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
It's terrific. The Irishman. Fuck yeah. Jojo Rabbit. Knives Out. The Lighthouse. I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit or The Lighthouse because they may not be out here yet.
The Lighthouse is not out till next year.
Right.
And
it's probably a DVD screen.
Jojo Rabbit just came out. By all accounts, is very good. Do you have more there?
Yeah, sorry. Marriage Story.
I
didn't enjoy that. I liked it, but yeah.
Okay.
That's not the benchmark.
Hit a little too close to home.
It did, Mason.
Because people are always looking at you going, is he good looking or not good looking? Is James good looking? What's he?
I do get that. People are like, your head is weird. There's something about you I don't like. You're not unappealing, but there's just something there that is very.
I think we've definitively decided that Adam Driver is good looking.
100%.
Right? That being said, this week you released a video. I think it's a Star Wars Easter eggs, Rise of Skywalker Easter egg video, and you have chosen a thumbnail photo of Adam Driver, and he's looking like a wet blobfish. In the rain. You could not have picked a less flattering picture of Adam Driver.
I read somewhere that the thumbnails with faces that like emote get more clicks. I don't know whether that is true. I don't know whether I've gone the wrong direction.
But I mean, who was writing that? Who was writing that advice? More successful YouTubers than you
true. Who
are trying to trick you.
A lot of the YouTube stuff, it's like, this is how you got clicks or whatever, and it's like a dude who's got like 1 million subscribers, but like 2,000 views a video or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Can you buy YouTube subscribers?
You can, but also you can.
How many have you bought?
All of them, Mason, obviously.
That's good.
Obviously.
Good.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, we're still on that list.
Oh, yeah.
Parasite, Us. I really loved Parasite.
I actually just recently saw Parasite.
What'd you think? Yeah.
I liked it. It's a very interesting movie. I think we could have maybe dedicated a whole episode to it if we'd seen it in time.
Let's do it now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's give it 30 more seconds.
No more awards. Because you talked about it a few episodes ago,
Yeah.
I think. And I think your takeaway from it was kind of, well, it looks, the rich have problems as well. It's an interesting take on how we're all kind of the same. We all have.
Did I say that?
You did say something like that.
I don't think I said that.
Well, my takeaway from this movie was I think all the working class should team up and eat the rich. That's my.
I'm fairly confident that wasn't my takeaway.
All right. Okay. Let's go to the tape.
I think it's all problems.
I'm James and I'm a dumbass.
All problems are relative, but
rich people are cool and fun. Wow.
I did say that.
Yeah.
It's also a beautiful movie.
Yeah, right.
Like the house. I don't know whether I should look into it, but like the house they film in, I assume that's a set.
It is a set. Everything about that movie is a set. There's a scene in so if you didn't listen to the episode when we talked about Parasite, so it's a very kind of down and out working class family. One of them gets a job tutoring a rich family's daughter, and then they sort of connive to sneak
out.
all the other family members into the house in pretending they're not related as in various other roles, and they kind of, they push out the family's chauffeur and they push out the family's housekeeper and they sort of get in there and there is a scene, it's kind of a slow start and then it all kind of kicks off. But there is a scene when all the family members are hiding under a table. They built the table specifically width and length so 4 people could uncomfortably hide under it.
That's
so
pretty terrific.
The whole thing is,
Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense to me.
But and it's about kind of, I feel like it.
But it's interesting though, because the poor people in this, and I know they're scrabbling to for position and just to get anywhere in life because their house and situation sucks. But they're not good either. People.
Oh no, they're not good.
So you're not really, you're like, who's
But what turned them in?
this?
What turned them not good? But also, what's interesting about this family is they are all immensely skilled in one way or another.
Yes, that's right.
One of them is a really good driver. One of them is amazing at forgery.
Yeah, but I think that's also because the way you often get ahead is you have money and you know people.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
you can
And
be good at stuff and it doesn't necessarily
Well, again,
matter.
there's a moment in this movie where somebody says, "Oh, if you want to get a job, the lowest rung in the totem pole, you get in there and there's 500 people with university degrees in front of you, kind of thing." So you're right.
And they're all heavily in debt from university.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it's a movie that starts. I went in not knowing anything really beyond the basic premise.
But you've really given a lot of that away here, haven't you, Mason?
No,
you dog.
But yeah, it's very interesting. I think it could also kind of end up in the horror category.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I could say that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it's not. I'm weighing up between I Am Mother, Knives Out, Parasite. Those are the 3 for me. But that being said, I could easily see Jojo Rabbit being something that I love from what I have seen of it.
Yeah, right.
But I'm probably going to go
with Knives Out.
Parasite.
Okay.
But I really liked Knives Out as well.
Knives Out is a good movie. And
Knives Out is also a crowd-pleasing movie, which is not a bad thing, I think, because it's like a British, it's not British, but it's like a British murder mystery, Poirot-esque kind of tale. And
you know what I did today is a week ago, I went to myself, you know what? Knives Out was great. Love a good murder mystery. I'm going to watch Murder on the Orient Express, which I saw on Netflix only recently. I added it to my list. It's got Daisy Ridley in it. Star Wars.
It's
gone. It's gone.
I
It's
thought
gone
you were gonna
off
say
Netflix.
you loved it.
No, it's gone off Netflix.
Yeah, well, you thought about it. That's your problem.
Yeah, that's my
Mason.
problem, yeah.
You had to stumble across it by accident.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Next up, we've got the best horror film. I've seen more of these than I thought, but are you ready?
Here we go. Yeah, ready.
Ready or not?
Don't know what that is.
It's a blast. It's a woman on her marriage day has to play a family.
A marriage day?
Marriage day.
Okay,
I was going to say birthday, but I went with marriage day,
All
right? I thought I saved it. You could have just let it go.
No.
She's
on a marriage day.
She has to play, because she's from this, she marries into this family of very well-to-do board game creators.
Okay.
And so everybody who marries in has to play this game, right? And to become part of the family. And often it's it's noughts and crosses. It's whatever. It's tic-tac-toe. But she gets hide from the family while they try and murder you. And so she has to do that. And then because they think it's a family curse and that's how they got their money. If they don't do it, they'll explode.
Wait, so previous people married in have just had to play tic-tac-toe?
Yes. Though you do get, at the very start, you get one that was the other one from the 80s, where somebody was also murdered or attempted to be murdered.
Oh, I see. So every couple of generations.
It's like a box of cards and you just don't know what you're going to get, essentially.
Oh, okay.
And it's fucking insane and it's great.
Did this get a general release?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Ready or not?
Smallish release.
Okay.
I saw it, didn't I? So it got a release.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
On the internet.
On the internet. No, you can go and see it. Or you could go and see it.
Okay.
Midsummer, did you see that?
Didn't see Midsummer, no.
It was very unsettling and good. It Chapter 2.
Saw that.
All right.
Yeah.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is apparently quite good as a children's spooky thing. I didn't see it. Us was fine. I have a lot of questions.
Okay, if this were a debut, if we didn't have Get Out before Us, would you be like, this is incredible? Or would you be like, this premise is muddled?
Yeah, maybe I'd probably be more like that. Yeah. Brightburn. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Happy Death Day 2.
Wait, because it's not a horror movie, or because
it was not as good as I would have wanted it to be.
Okay, right.
Happy Death Day to You, which is, again, a really fun horror movie. This one's kind of Back to the Future 2-esque.
You're on a real horror movie kick.
Yeah. There's been some good stuff. Doctor Sleep I really wanted to see, but did it get a release here?
It did, yeah.
It did, but it didn't. It bombed hard.
Okay.
And I Trapped the Devil, which was an indie film, which is about a guy who thinks he's caught the devil in his basement. And then he has family come over and he's like, I caught the devil. And they're like, you've gone mad. but maybe he did catch the devil.
Oh, interesting.
It's really good as
Okay,
well.
right.
So, but I'm going to say Ready or Not
Okay.
because it's just a blast. And
Yeah, right.
it's like the best kind of schlock. You know what I mean? And the lead's really good.
Okay,
and
yeah,
it's,
right.
It's just really liked it.
There you go.
But I also really liked I Trapped the Devil.
Well, I'm going to say It Chapter 2 because it sounds like it's the only horror movie I saw this year.
You saw Us.
I did.
But you don't want to say Us. You saw Brightburn.
I did say Bright. You know what?
I didn't mind It Chapter 2, to be fair. It's
Yeah.
not as good as the first, but it's okay.
I like Brightburn because I think because we've reached the level of comic book saturation that they've taken it and they've taken it. James Gunn's taken it and turned it. He didn't direct it though. He produced it.
He produced it.
Okay,
Yeah.
they've taken it and they've turned it. Even though it struck out to be one and done.
Yeah.
I feel like I would like to see more in that universe. It's
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
much in the vein I think of the comic book Supreme Power, which is like Superman, but he
sucks.
He sucks.
Yeah.
He's Superman, but he gone wrong.
He's gone right. He's not right.
I would
He's
like
not-
to see another version of this. Probably
We might even know.
maybe a grown up version or an older version of
Well,
the
they
Brightburn
hinted
kid.
Justice League at the end.
Yeah,
sort
see,
of.
that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
That's,
We might
that's how
actually
they get
get
me. That's how
Yeah.
they get me.
They said we might get it.
Yeah.
Because it did not great, but maybe well enough that they
Okay,
could.
yeah,
but it's
right.
super low budget.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
we
going
could
to
see an animated version. We could see a comic book version.
definitely.
Yeah.
So this one I've moved up because I want to talk about it before we name all these things on here.
Okay, I'm ready.
But this is that came out this year award.
Oh, okay, right.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Here we go. Doom Annihilation.
Yeah, look, I knew that was coming out this year. That doesn't surprise me.
But it
that's
did
not gonna,
come out.
It did come out this year. Didn't get a chance to watch it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
probably on YouTube.
I want to squeeze it in before we do because we've got Doom in the can for Caravan of Garbage.
Yeah,
'cause
right,
We recorded
okay.
it before
Uh-huh.
the game got delayed.
Yeah.
Glass came out this year.
Yeah, that was
I'd believe
that was our first or second episode this
Yeah.
year, I think. Yeah,
Captain Marvel feels like forever
it
ago.
really does. Yeah.
Charlie's Angels.
Are we rating these on how the rating isn't the quality? It's really
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlie's Angels. I feel like that just happened.
yeah. We knew that happened.
Jay and Silent Bob. Well, that didn't come out this year for
No,
us at least.
yeah.
This is interesting. Jessica Jones season 3 or The Punisher season 2 came out this year.
Now they came out 100 years ago this very day.
Shazam,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Us,
Mm-hmm.
Velvet. I should have done this up top.
Yeah.
Velvet Buzzsaw.
Is that the Gyllenhaal one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And Bird Box.
I don't care about Bird Box.
Bird Box also came out in December. That was a test because I had to look it up to be like, did that come out this year?
Okay, right. So some of these awards are also traps.
Yes.
They should do it at the Oscars. They should come out of the Oscars and be like, and this year the award goes to you all voted for this movie, but surprise, it came out last year. We tricked you all. Everyone who voted for it is being executed. Here's your comeuppance, Hollywood.
All the chairs are electrified.
That's right. I'm gonna say Captain Marvel because boy, did it come out this year? You're mistaken.
Yeah, agreed. It was March, I think, as well.
Wow.
But I think because so much in Marvel has happened since,
That's true.
and
Yeah.
not just movies, but just announcements of shit.
Yeah.
It just feels forever. And also, I haven't rewatched it.
I'm feeling woozy just thinking about it. Maybe it's because I haven't had any caffeine, James.
Yeah, well, maybe you should come prepared.
No, I had it. I
Mason.
had coffee earlier.
Okay, good. We could pause if you want to get a Coca-Cola.
From where? That
Not-
can?
No, this is mine.
Okay, no, I'm okay. There's no time. There's more awards to get through.
You're right. What about this? I've changed this to video game adaptations as opposed
Okay.
to movies, because there's one in here that's at least one in here that's a
Okay.
show. The Witcher. Seen any of that yet?
Haven't seen it yet.
Doom
You're saying
Annihilation.
schlocky though.
I don't mind it.
Okay.
Doom Annihilation.
Okay, right.
Detective Pikachu. Sonic. Brackets delayed. Like, is that the best one?
Yeah, maybe.
And Final Fantasy XV : episode Arden - prologue.
Hate it. What is that? Is that a CG?
don't know.
Is that a CGI
I
animated
assume so.
Final Fantasy 15
Yeah.
adaptation? Okay.
I'm gonna give it to.
I haven't seen any of these.
I'm gonna give it to The Witcher.
Okay.
You've seen Detective Pikachu, which
I have seen
think
Detective
is,
Pikachu,
I mean,
yeah.
it's probably the best video game movie.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Tomb Raider, the last one, is my favorite video game movie still.
Well, yeah.
Mm.
Did
Did that come out this year?
I don't think it came out last year. What was the first one you said? With The Witcher.
The Witcher.
I'm going to give it to that, even though I haven't seen it, because it's something to look forward to. Maybe I'll watch it today, you know? Yeah. I'll watch it today, and I like Henry
Absolutely.
Cavill, you know?
This one is interesting because I feel like this had a spectacular year.
And Pokemon is not in my wheelhouse. I feel a lot of people went into that and went, oh my God, this is so, it feels like home, this movie. And I'm like, this feels like somebody else's house. I'm going to rob it. I'm going to take all the Cokes out of their fridge.
Yeah. Give one to me, maybe.
Oh, nah.
It'd be the nice thing to do. You'd be the better man.
That's true, I would. Deliver it off my high horse. Yes.
This is interesting because it's best streaming.
Okay.
Always Be My Maybe. And I think there's just some great stuff this year. Some of my favourite stuff this year was
That's
streaming.
solid, funny. It's not spectacular.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
But it's good, I agree. Bandersnatch, which I guess is
okay.
technically a movie.
A lot of people hate that.
I think it's fine.
I think it's good.
I think you're an idiot.
I know.
But that's unrelated.
I was going to say, why bring that up now? I thought to myself.
Dolomite Is My Name is excellent.
Oh, that's a good, it's feel good, but it's rude.
It's rude.
It's rude.
There's dicks in it, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think there isn't, El Camino, again, I really liked.
Yep.
I Am Mother, I really liked. The Irishman can fuck off. Marriage Story.
We've all come to a consensus on The Irishman. Get out of here, The Irishman.
It's not that bad, but fuck off.
Is this real or did somebody Photoshop it? Did Martin Scorsese's daughter wrap all her kids' presents in Marvel wrapping paper this year?
I have no idea.
I think I saw that.
I hope that's true.
It might be upon Photoshop, but it might also be real, and that's fun.
Marriage Story and Velvet Buzzsaw, which I still haven't seen. So I'm going to give it to I Am Mother because it's in all my list of everything, and I feel like I'm not going to give it an award, so I'm going to give it this one.
Okay, good. You said Bandersnatch. What did you say after Bandersnatch?
Dolomite.
I really like Dolomite Is My Name. That's a great performance from Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
People seem to hate Bandersnatch, but you know what? And I'm probably not going to play it again, watch it again, play it again. But in retrospect, and that again, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for things, but I think British video games in the 80s.
Oh my God, that's your jam.
That's my jam.
You probably would have got some magazines brought back from overseas from an uncle or something,
right? Oh my
right?
God. But just, anyone out there, if you read Britain's own computer and video games magazine, CNVG from back in the day.
Oh my God.
Did you read Mean Machines? I bet you did.
I didn't read
It
Mean
at me on
Machines.
Twitter.
I've seen Mean Machine the movie with Vinnie Jones.
Oh yeah.
Is that the same?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Cool.
Man, just the British video game industry in the 80s.
That's where Charlie Brooker started.
That's what I'm talking about. That just strong and accurate and it's the best possible version of what that is we'll ever see.
Agreed.
It'll never be better than this.
Not.
Everything after this will be much worse.
I do not disagree.
Thank your lucky stars.
Yeah, I don't
When
disagree.
the next big one of these comes out, you'll be like, man, I wish we had Bandersnatch.
Yeah, I
again.
agree. I said that at the
Yeah.
time. I think these are the best people that could make something like this, and it's serviceable. I think
right.
I'd like to see this cut together as something coherent. I'm never going to watch it because I've seen them all, but I think I would have preferred that.
I wonder if that has had. I wonder if there's. I'm gonna look it up later. I wonder
Somebody's
if
done it.
What's
I
that?
assume.
Oh,
Put it
recap.
together,
I was going to say, I wonder if there's been more revelations since we, like, have people found more stuff in that game since?
Or maybe
I'll look it up.
like the next thing popped up on Twitter and people stopped talking about it.
That's
Which is
almost
what
certainly
happens.
because again, this would have absolutely been a nomination for this came out this year. Did it? Or was it 2017?
You know what? Maybe it was the end of last year.
Maybe.
It might have even been December.
Okay,
Might have made a mistake. Let me check that.
Well, in that case, if it came out in 2018, then I'm giving it to Dolomite.
All right, here we go. Yeah, it was. It was December 28.
Okay, all right.
That was Collins' era, not mine, I assume.
Collins, I have no authority to fire you, nor would I.
Because you're great.
You're
You do
doing a
good
great
work.
job.
We really appreciate
Yeah.
it. Here we
This
go.
podcast would be a sinking ship without you.
Agree.
But you're on the thickest of ice, Collins.
Oh, Collins. You've
Oh
got
my
so
God.
many chances.
Oh my God. You're on your first warning of literally thousands. He's just messaged me. I bet it's something nice.
Oh, he sent through the list.
He did,
I
yeah.
think, but I can't. Oh, no, he has. He sent it through.
Yeah.
I can go through these at the end. How about that?
Okay, let's do
Because they're
it,
in
yeah.
a different order.
They're
So
in a
I'll
different
do them
order,
at the
that's
end.
true, yeah, okay.
Or should I leave it for the Great Mates group?
Now let's do it real quick.
Okay, we'll do it at the end.
Yeah.
So this is best TV show. Watchmen, Catch 22, which I feel like just disappeared, but I really I saw it on
came
the
out
worst
this
list.
year?
Yeah. The Boys, Fleabag, Chernobyl, Umbrella Academy. I feel like there's got to be more on here than that.
that's a good list too.
Black Mirror, Crisis, which I haven't seen all of, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, The Witcher. I think that's and probably The Mandalorian. I assume.
That's a good list of good stuff.
I agree. Oh, that Mandalorian is on here. He did put it on there. Oh my God, his ice is even thicker.
Right.
Oh my God, how does he do it?
I don't know. He's good.
It's 100 feet of ice.
Right.
I really liked Fleabag and Watchmen and Catch-22.
Yeah,
I
right.
also love The Boys. I liked a lot of stuff.
Yeah, right.
The Boys in any other year, like you go 5 years back, it's the best show of that year.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I like Fleabag a lot. Watchmen, I did not expect to like at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is going to everything.
See, I did think I would like it because everything was involved.
Yeah,
and I still loved it.
I never finished The Leftovers. So so the bad taste in my mouth is from Lost, I would imagine, or everything.
Yeah.
Every bad TV decision Lindelof and Abrams made in the early 2000s, I'm like,
we're still paying for it.
Yeah, they're still paying for it. I'm like, I'm not going to like this.
Yeah.
And also, the idea that you could make anything on the scale of the original Watchmen on TV and it's original content and make it good at all. I'm like, there's no way anybody's going to do this, but they have. So congratulations. And again, I don't feel like maybe they 100% stuck the landing on it, but I think that's probably because, especially towards the end, like the quality of the episodes was so high, and just the setup and the payoff over those episodes. Yeah. Again, payoff. That's what I did not expect on any level. I did not expect any payoff from Watchmen.
I think Lindelof just pays stuff off now because of After Lost. You know what? In hindsight, it's not all his fault because he was given
well, that's true.
Like make this go for 7 years and just I
don't know if Lost was intended to go as long as it did, or
surely not.
No, maybe
I think they're just used to everything just being cancelled. To like get as much of this out there as we can.
Yeah, right.
I assume. I have no idea. But I'm going to say Fleabag because Fleabag is terrific, and
British TV is good. Sometimes.
I think having lived there, Mason.
Oh, yes.
We get there's a bit of a buffer between us and them.
Yeah.
So like it's not all good.
What about Geordie Shore though?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. What about Coronation Street?
Which one's that? But it's pretty good.
I don't know.
Is that the one with Dave Lister in it?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Because, he's in one of them, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah.
Let's look it up.
It's not that one.
Okay.
It might be another one.
Look up Craig Charles. Because that's his name.
That's his name. They're filming a Red Dwarf movie at the moment, actually.
Nice.
For streaming. For Dave, the streaming site.
It's interesting that they've never gone with the comic book version of Red Dwarf. Rimmer was always in black and white. I think we've talked about that.
They tried to do it. They looked at it, but it's for the special effects. It would have been
even the modern.
Oh no, I think they just locked into it.
Okay,
now.
right. Okay, I'm not surprised because that was
he was in Coronation Street.
There you go, righto. Like recently?
I think he came back.
Oh right, wow.
In 2005.
There you go.
And then he left in 2015. So there you go. So maybe
there you go.
Oh, in 2010, his character was involved in the show's dramatic 50th anniversary tram crash storyline.
Oh my goodness!
Right up your alley.
Yeah, right.
The 50th anniversary of a tram crash, or to commemorate 50
years of Coronation Street, they had a big tram crash, which is what they'd always wanted down the pub.
Yeah. Anyway, Fleabag's great, and I think this because the second season came out this year, and I think it's better. It's at least as good, and it's different than the first season.
Yeah, right.
Claire and I actually, because we did our best of stuff this year, and I avoided kind of like the bigger stuff on here on Suggestible, where we talk more about it, and we talk about more kind of indie stuff, and I talk about comics and stuff and that as well. But I'll link that below if people want to check that out. What are you going to say?
I can't remember what I said now. Watchmen. I said Watchmen.
Fair enough.
Yeah, good work. Good work, everybody.
Good work, everybody. What about worst TV show? I avoided bad things this year.
Me too.
Mine's blank. So I guess
mine's blank.
Game of Thrones. The ending?
Just because they boned the ending? Okay. What does Collins put in there?
There isn't one here.
Okay, right.
I left it blank, so I assume he left it blank. Anyway, let's just skip it then.
I can't think of any terrible TV.
It was all good, yeah.
Just don't watch it.
I mean, there definitely is, but we didn't watch it.
And the benefit of TV being bad
Yeah.
is you can just watch the first one or 10 minutes of it and you haven't bought a ticket and you crammed into a cinema.
I definitely did that a few times of even things that are good. Like I think I've started Peaky Blinders like 3 or 4 times. This one is best they fucked the ending.
Oh, yes.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. I've got the nominees right here. That's great.
What do you got? Oh, do you want to read them out?
Yeah, Game of Thrones, final season, Star Wars.
Yep.
The Rise of Skywalker, Marvel Netflix, any of the Marvel Netflix, X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Okay, Marvel Netflix, I don't think it's their fault, and did it really end or did it just stop?
Yeah, well,
and I think wasn't the last one pretty consistent? Those last seasons?
I feel like Punisher was consistent. I feel like Daredevil was always consistent. I think they're just done. I guess
they're not doing them.
They're not doing them.
And Dark Phoenix, what do you expect?
Right?
That's best case scenario.
That was exactly the level of quality I was expecting.
So I guess it's Game of Thrones, Star Wars. I also put on, it's not really the ending. I mean, I'm going to save that one for later. I put on another one, but it doesn't count. Game of Thrones or Star Wars? I think it's Game of Thrones.
Look, I think they definitely handled it really poorly. I can see how they wanted to get. We can spoil Game of Thrones at this point, surely.
No.
I feel like I understand how they wanted the characters to end up.
Yes.
And given another season or 2 seasons, I feel like they could have gotten there legitimately and in a way that was narratively satisfying for all the fans. But in rushing it, like it was an absolute failure of
execution.
Here's where we want everybody to end up. How can we do that in as little time as possible, in as few episodes as possible?
Turns out,
just knock it out.
They can't,
and they can't do it, and that was really disappointing.
So they could make a Star Wars movie. They got kicked off.
Yeah, right. And so in terms of that, absolutely ruined that. But as someone who's not invested in Game of Thrones, I feel.
Oh, these are 2 things you're not invested in.
Right?
Fascinating.
But I feel like I'm more invested in Star Wars, especially after The Last Jedi.
Okay.
I'm like, it would have been really nice to have a payoff. For me personally, that was of the same level of quality as The Last Jedi.
That movie is supposed to cap off 9.
Yes.
From like 42 years worth of
42 years ago, right?
So I guess in that respect, and we're going to spoil all of these. We should have probably said that up top. But like, I really didn't like some of the stuff they did in that movie.
Yeah, right. I feel like but
I didn't hate either of these, really.
Right,
But they fucked the ending, Mason.
Yeah, they really did. I feel like just as the culmination of 40 years or whatever, it was a real fizzle. And like, I know X-Men Dark Phoenix was a fizzle, but I knew it was going to be a fizzle. I guess to some extent I thought I knew Rise of Skywalker, to me personally, was going to be a fizzle. It wasn't what I was going to want out of a Star Wars movie, but I feel like they course corrected so hard that it didn't feel like for me it was just going through the motions. And that's not what I want from a big finale.
No,
if you're gonna do fan service, do it hard.
Yeah,
don't
absolutely.
half-ass. Like the whole thing felt half-assed to me.
Okay, so Star Wars for you?
Yeah, Star Wars.
Well, then I'll say the other one, whatever the other one was that I said. What about?
We're gonna saw this award in half.
Yes. What about best I had fun with it movie?
Okay, what do you got?
Terminator.
Okay.
Hellboy.
Yep.
Shazam.
I think I had a lot of fun with Hellboy.
Me too.
Yeah, I thought Terminator 4 was well made and the best Terminator.
It also might be Terminator 3.
Yeah. Oh, it's Terminator 6, isn't it? I said 4.
Well, it's 3, 6, yes.
Yeah, right. I feel like even though it was well made and it's the best version of that we've had in many years, I don't know if I did have fun with it.
Yeah, fair
enough. Was it fun, that movie?
I mean, maybe fun doesn't necessarily mean like this is a fun movie.
Okay.
But it's just like I enjoyed it for what it is.
I don't know if I had fun. I think it was pretty well put together and there were some funny moments in it. Sure. And I think the action was pretty solid, but it never felt fun to me.
Yeah, and there was some, like the new John Connor I never really connected with.
Yeah.
I didn't even mind the choices of killing off, spoilers, like certain characters from the saga because, let's be honest, like they were never going to get Edward Furlong back. And I hate saying that because, he's had his troubles and whatever, but like, you really think Edward Furlong they were going to hire Edward Furlong to come back and be John Connor? Like, it's not.
And then
I guess they could have recast it as they always do.
Yeah. Okay, so you said Shazam and
Terminator, Hellboy, Shazam. I'm gonna say Hellboy.
Hellboy, 100%.
Yeah.
And again, it's interesting to me that people dislike it so
much.
Like
the first 40 minutes are pretty like more than good.
Yeah.
But then it's like
the editing's a little bit all over the place, I feel like. But I don't know, just in terms of I think David Harbour was a good Hellboy.
I agree.
After the initial shock that he doesn't look like Ron Perlman anymore, but I think this particular version of Hellboy wouldn't have meshed with the world we got in this new Hellboy.
Yeah.
The Perlman one was too clean and polished, and I think this one works in this. It's a way more grimy world. I love the giant fight.
Yes.
I love the fact that he's having a tough time of it. Like he's kind of, he's
Lobster Johnston's in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's quite vulnerable.
I enjoyed the mishmash and the weird folkloric culture.
Yeah, the
in
weird
this movie.
witch woman
woman in it.
Yeah. But then there's the weird goobly monster. Not the one it would spit up a spirit or whatever.
That's
which
right.
I was like, I don't like that at all.
No, that was bad.
Yeah.
But
it's not perfect. It's
for sure.
far from perfect.
Yeah, for sure. I think it is and again, we rewatched the original Hellboys, they're very of their time.
Yes.
Like superhero movies of their time. I think people will turn around on that if anybody ever watches New Hellboy again. Nope. I think some people will turn around on this. They shouldn't
have called it New Hellboy. They should have just
they should have called it New Worse Hellboy.
Yeah,
really hamstrung.
You know what you're getting.
Yeah, I think Harbour's good. And again, I think maybe I mentioned this in the review. I feel like the previous two Hellboy movies have achieved some sort of mythic status because they were directed by Guillermo del Toro, who's done The Shape of Water.
And also they're like 15 years old now.
Yeah. And I feel like people are like, well, this is those two movies. And I'm like, those two movies
I think it's closer than you'd think.
Yeah, these are a little bit Men in Black, the first two.
Yes.
In retrospect. And I think this one is of equal quality. I don't care who I offend.
You must care a little bit.
Of the 10 people who saw this movie, 5 of whom didn't like it, I don't care if I offended you.
You must care a little bit though, right?
No.
Sure. Oh, I don't know. I feel like when these people start coming at you, then you'll care and you'll be apologising.
They'll be like, can't believe you liked New Hellboy, Worse Hellboy. SMH. Maybe an animated gif of somebody shaking their head,
Definitely. What about this? Best streaming service. This is a new one. So we got Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon, Stan. That's a very specific. We could also do Hulu and HBO, but we don't have those. Well, I've got one of those.
Oh, hello.
Proxy, but it doesn't.
Somebody's doing it right for himself.
Yeah, I steal things. Actually, it's not. I work around current Australian government regulations. Wow. I know. Okay, Disney Plus is great if you love The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But also,
and it'll be great when The Mandalorian finishes and you love assorted Marvel series.
I think it's good that it's all on there, but I don't think I've ever watched anything else on there. That being said, I think as far as as a Disney collection of things, it is incredible. I just don't care.
I also don't care. You're right. We were going to do an episode where we kind of did a deep dive on some forgotten gems in the Disney Plus archive, and so I went through and I put together a list, and there is some good stuff in there. But I'm not going out of my way to jump on there and watch a classic. I watched some of The Rocketeer the other day, and it's pretty good. I like it. It's kind of hokey, but it's fun.
Yeah, I agree. Amazon does some good stuff. It's got Marvelous Miss Maisel, it's got The Boys, it's got The Tick.
You know what it also has? It's got a terrible search function.
Oh my god,
you're off the list. You're off the list, Amazon. I don't know what yours does, but on my TV, you put if you start typing in a word and you pause briefly, it locks up while it searches for the partial word you've put in. Just give us a search. Nothing happens, then you do a search button.
None of them
that's
are
what
as
I want.
good as Netflix.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Stan, which is an Australian one, which I think is pretty solid. They took all the Disney stuff off there, but there's still stuff on there which is worth seeing. But it's Netflix.
It's Netflix. You've done it again.
It's not
Netflix.
just the sheer quantity of it. Because there's a lot of crap on there. Yeah. But despite losing all the Marvel stuff and all the Toy Stories and all the Disney and all that stuff, there's a lot of originals. There's a lot of good movies this year. Yeah. Some good movies. There's at least 3 good movies this year.
God.
I feel. Yeah. Streaming services in general are still the show that Paul Rudd is a clone one. There's there's the comedy specials. There's just and it's obviously different from region to region, but I think even if you went originals alone, there's quite a lot of good stuff.
I think so too.
In there. Yeah.
Well, still. And also they have a decade's worth of advantage.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Good for them.
I agree. But I think it might be different next year when Disney put on a bunch of their Marvel shows and a new Star Wars show and whatever else they're working on. And I know they've got other originals like High School Musical and whatever, but I don't. It's not for me, so I can't, in good conscience, vote for those things. What about this, Mason? Best murder mystery. We've, of course, got Knives Out.
Yep.
And we've, of course, got the movie Murder Mystery starring Adam
Sandler and Jennifer Aniston.
There's probably another one in there, but they're really the ones I remember.
Didn't see it.
Murder Mystery is completely serviceable.
It's got Luke Evans in it, right?
It does. It's honestly, if you want something light, it's it's breezy and it's got some okay jokes. It's pretty good, but Knives Out is 100-fold better.
Okay, right.
Yeah, but
cool.
And not to look, if Knives Out wasn't on this list, this would definitely go to Murder Mystery.
Great, good for Murder Mystery.
Sure, it's the only other one on there. Also, wasn't there Killing Eve this year? I don't watch that though, but I guess we're talking movies, aren't we? Is that about murders? Probably.
Yeah, but there's no mystery. I mean, Eve kills everybody.
Yes.
Wait, or Eve is.
I don't know. Don't tell me, Mason.
Okay, fine,
I haven't seen it.
But there's
somebody's murdered.
There's an assassin in it.
Okay,
you know she's doing all the assassinating, so don't even worry about it.
Okay. Is it time for this, Mason?
Oh yes.
Best movie where the game is on.
Absolutely there is, yeah. Okay, let's do it. And then maybe after that, I've got an award that I'm going to present.
I love that.
Yeah. It's a new one for this year, for 2019.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what we've got. Terminator Dark Fate.
Okay.
Hellboy. Brightburn.
Yep.
Alita Battle Angel. It's not as clear cut as it has been in other years.
Now, so for people who
I
don't
think
know,
I've puzzled this out.
This is the award for the most ham-fisted attempt to build up buzz for a sequel or a franchise.
Buzz!
And in past
I'm
years,
a big bee.
in past
Buzz!
years, and I think maybe it's tapering off because of the number of times in Hollywood that it has simply not worked.
You mean every time?
Every time. So in the past, we've had Dracula Untold.
The founder.
The founder of this. We've had Independence Day Resurgence.
Yes.
We've had other crap.
The Predator.
Oh yeah, that's
The
right.
Mummy.
Oh my god, that was a sweeper last year. It just swept so many awards. Worst game is on. Worst movie. Worst action movie. Worst reboot or sequel. Worst movie that's got a pedophile in it. It just got them all. The Predator.
Kevin Spacey had movies that year.
Yeah,
It was
right.
Still the worst one.
Yes. This there's I don't think there's anything this year that is as
okay.
bad.
Brightburn-
wait, you know what? I'm going to add one. Actually, go ahead. Brightburn, you're going to
I
say.
was going to say Brightburn definitely sets it up, but it might get a sequel. So we
Yeah,
can't.
and look, this award is a little bit murky.
Definitely.
Like, if some people would be like, oh, well, Star Wars is going to set up a thing. Well, yeah, but I mean, they're going to do another Star
exactly,
Wars. You know?
yeah.
Or like Captain Marvel. Yeah, we know, but there's
it
going
has
to
to
be
be
another.
a massive swing and a miss.
It really does.
Terminator Dark Fate, I feel like also it is a continuation,
Yep.
but it also works as a contained movie.
I agree. If there's never another one,
Yeah.
that's
you're not gonna be like, what up?
yeah, they built enough safeties into the narrative to that to be like, well,
But that also might be that I don't care about what's left in that universe.
Yeah, right.
Like that might not, because they did set it up, but it's
Yeah.
also like I don't.
yeah.
Yeah,
And again, I like Brightburn, but I feel like I want to. I think here's another factor we don't factor in. I want to see a sequel to that, and we may or may
Fair
not
point.
get it. But I wasn't like, they're gonna do Justice League, they're gonna do Evil Justice League. Obviously that's not gonna. But I want to see that,
wanna see it.
it's out of the running. I think.
Hellboy feels like it could continue,
Yeah.
but it didn't feel like it didn't cliffhanger end. It kind of
Yeah.
ended on a joke of like, what's going to next in this universe?
Yeah.
So that's why I have to say Alita Battle Angel. For one, it made $400 million worldwide, and it cost 200. So if you do marketing, it
I
wouldn't
didn't
have
make
made money.
anything. Okay, right.
People are calling for a sequel and being like, well, if you, instead of seeing Captain Marvel, see Alita or whatever. Remember there was that campaign.
Okay.
There's talk of a sequel, but financially, you cannot make a sequel to this movie. And the reason I say that it's The Game Is On
Yes.
is because they hired Edward Norton to be the villain.
Oh, he is. You only hear his voice, right?
Oh, well, you see, he takes his goggles off at the end.
Oh, that's
maybe.
right. Yeah.
So
and
that-
you're like, oh, that's right. And you're like, is that Edward Norton?
So that's to me is like, we've got Edward Norton for the sequels.
Yeah.
Here's a taste.
Yep.
Come back next time.
Okay.
And we're going to so that's why I think it's Alita Battle
Okay,
Angel.
I think it is. It's probably also Alita Battle Angel. There's one that's missing, and let me know if you think The Game Is On, because
Sure.
there's some reasons why it also might not be The Game Is On. Glass is The Game Is On with Glass, because The Game Is On but at the end of Glass they're like, everybody in the world has seen these amazing heroes do amazing feats of superheroism
In a car park.
in a car park by sort of shifting a car slightly to one side and being drowned in a puddle. But that's the whole world is going to see it, and the whole world is going to be inspired to perform their own feats of heroism, and all the heroes in all the cities are going to
and that
arise.
secret society won't even know what to do with
Exactly,
themselves.
right.
They're
How
going
do
to have
you
to
feel-
hire out a restaurant to cry in.
That's right. How do you feel about that?
I think that was more kind of... I see what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I don't think it intentionally sets up a sequel. I think it's
Okay,
more
right.
like a message of hope for this dumb thing.
Yeah, right.
That's
but,
what I...
yeah.
But I see what you're saying. If you picked that, I wouldn't...
But also, Shyamalan is anybody going to?
I mean, you could say The Village is like... The Village is the real world. Are they ever going to go to the real
Yeah,
world?
I guess
You know
that's
what I
true.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, at the end of Sixth Sense, is he going to do more Sixth Sensing? He's going to have a seventh sense.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's a good joke.
That's right.
It's not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think. Okay, you're right. I think you're
I didn't
right.
hate Alita.
Yeah.
Like, if you look, like, between that and Predator, and I know a lot of people really loved it,
Yeah.
but I think just the fact that they were like, get ready.
I think I think for the most part, it's pretty. I thought I was going to hate it, but I think Alita was pretty well put together.
Yep.
The visual effects look good. The cyborg designs are good.
Yeah, that I really enjoyed. Like the Ed Sheeran cyborg is...
I think it's narratively it's pretty generic, but it's based on a manga and an anime.
Yes.
So I mean, there's only limited places
do
there
you
that
do?
we can
What do you
go. I I don't think it's hugely thrilling in like the action sequences or anything, but some of the like the
also Jai Courtney is in it.
The roller derby, whatever, that's pretty boring. But I think I remember some of the fight sequences are pretty solid.
I remember Christoph Waltz barely holding a giant.
Oh, he had a big mallet,
gas-powered hammer or something, which I didn't buy even for a second.
Yeah, but I think the very idea of like we're approaching the end, and you're like, oh, she's not going to get up into the city in the clouds and defeat the elites. We're going to need another 2 hours for that. And you are going to be 100% on board for that.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ever going to make a sequel. Exactly. But then again, maybe it'll be one of those Tron things where like in 20 years they're like, or Blade Runner, like this has got enough of a following for us to make a sequel to this that won't make money.
Yeah. Okay, so I have won my one award. So this is it's only got 3 nominees.
I love it.
Okay, so this is the inaugural Weekly Planet Find and Replace Award. So this is the award for the most generic script that was punched up with a brand name. So of course in this one, so we've got a terrorist attempts to enhance himself with nanotechnology or something, and also there's a virus, but also it's Fast and Furious. So that's Hobbs and Shaw.
Right, yes.
An ex-soldier, his surrogate family gets in trouble with some cartels, and he has to kill them all, but also it's Rambo.
Okay, I was going to say, is that John Wick?
Is it? I don't know. Maybe we've got a front runner here. Okay. And a man is downtrodden by society, and he reacts violently, but also it's the Joker.
Is it John Wick?
No, it's Joker.
Wow, okay.
I've also written The Irishman here, but that doesn't
You've just written The Irishman.
I've just written The Irishman. I was just thinking about bad movies, and I went, I just chucked The Irishman in there again.
I like the idea of Soldier of Fortune, Nanobot, something.
And then it's Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's
always nanobots, and it's always the world's gone too far, and I'm going to cleanse it of this and that and whatever.
Would you have watched this? Would you have watched that if it wasn't a Fast and Furious?
No.
Right?
Fuck no.
Would you have watched the Joker if it wasn't Joker?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, right. Because I think I would have been more compelled by like the performance is what drove that movie for me.
And to be clear, this award isn't. Look, I understand that they probably built Joker and Hobbs and Shaw from the ground up to be those movies, like in those, in a part of the franchise, or a DC comic book movie. I didn't like Joker. People are pretty clear. I thought Hobbs and Shaw was pretty average.
Yeah.
I think for me it's going to be Rambo, because to me,
I didn't like Rambo at all.
I would not be even slightly surprised if it was they just sent a script to Stallone. And it was just generic. He's a grizzled old soldier, and his family's in trouble, and he has to go and fight it.
Yeah.
Fight some bad guys. Hey, have we done a Rambo in a few years? We haven't. Okay, just put Rambo in it.
That's so true, actually, yeah. Because how many of those have there been an old guy who's dragged back into
Everything he's done in the last 10 years.
I mean, not only him, but like other actors.
Oh, yeah,
of his age.
Neeson and all those guys, yeah.
Every single, yeah.
Did Neeson do a movie this year?
He did Cold Pursuit, which is apparently quite good.
Okay, right.
Yeah, where he gets snow justice.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm getting snow justice out here. That's his catchphrase.
I love it.
Until he gets to the end, and then he's like, I'm getting some justice.
Some justice.
Yeah.
Some snow justice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't have a catchphrase for when I got justice, all right?
Yeah,
what do you want? Collings has been kind enough to actually put the images in here, and this really helps.
Oh, is this best hair, best wig?
Best wig. So if you are doing this survey, we've got Adam Driver in Marriage Story. Okay. I would say Adam Driver across the board. I think you could pick any of his hair.
Okay, right.
Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Chris Evans, Avengers Endgame. Wig, but still counts.
Yep.
Jake Gyllenhaal in Far From Home. Henry Cavill's behind the scenes Justice League mustache leak.
Yeah, right.
Henry Cavill's wig in The Witcher. Simba in The Lion King, and Tom Holland in Far From Home.
Is that hair or wig?
That's
Holland.
real.
Okay, that's real. Okay, right.
I think it's Adam Driver.
Oh, can I say something controversial?
What's that?
I don't like his hair.
What?
I don't like his hair. I think it's no. I think it's objectively bad hair.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
He uses it to cover his ears.
It's
like multi-purpose.
Why can't I see his ears?
Because his hair's
What are you
over
hiding,
it.
Adam Driver?
His ears.
I don't like it.
Okay, well, what are you going to say then?
Oh, man. There's some good hair this year.
No, great.
I like Gyllenhaal's hair, but maybe it's just that I like Gyllenhaal.
You got to look past that.
But he's also, if in that movie, his hair is quite versatile within that movie, because he's got
true.
good guy version of his hair, but then he's got slick back turtleneck
Michael
hair.
Douglas.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like that. Man, I mean, Henry Cavill, He's doing double duty. I don't like his Witcher hair, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it suits him.
It works better in the fantasy element of the show. But it's not the best.
His mustache stubble combo does suit him. I think that's
Agreed.
terrific, but I feel like that's last year's news. Yeah, I mean, it's behind the scenes.
Well, you mean 2 years ago's news where Justice League
came
out?
But it's his Fallout. It's his Fallout mustache.
It is. You're right.
Look, if they release that this year, I think it's way fair. But what do you think? What do you think? Brad Pitt's hair?
It's good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good, solid hair. He's pulling it off,
and he's still got it.
He's still got it for a man in his 50s or whatever he is.
I mean, it's almost certainly like dyed and bleached and like tussled and all that.
Evans has always got great hair, but it's always a wig.
It's always a wig, but he's still got it, doesn't he?
That's what this award is about. It's the best hair on screen.
Yes.
It's not whether it's real or not.
I like that we're dedicating the time to this.
Me too. Simba, that's well put together fake hair, isn't it?
I agree.
That's the most... Look, I won't...
Also, is that Simba? Or is it another line in that movie? I mean, it says Simba at the top.
It says Simba at the top, yeah. Look, I'm gonna go with Gyllenhaal because I think that's some versatile hair
within the movie.
Within the movie,
I appreciate that.
I mean, Evans did have young man hair, old man hair.
Yeah.
And he probably also had Avengers era hair.
Yes.
2012 Avengers era hair, which would have been different.
At the start, yeah, he did. Oh, he had that, and he also had because he had longer hair at the beginning of the movie.
Probably, yeah.
Or did we see him just? I think we don't see it, and he's shaving it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm giving it to Gyllenhaal. Also, good stubble.
Great stuff.
He looks like a grizzled hero until he looks like a slick Wall Street guy. You know?
Well, I'm gonna go Adam Driver, even though you've seen it wet.
Time will tell.
Time will judge me, the villain.
Yeah, time will judge you, the villain, I think. Yeah, you'll be like, what was I thinking giving him this award? And you'll go to his house and he'll be like, give us the award back.
And give me your hair.
Yes. What have you got in there? What do your little ears look like?
So there is another option, but for worst hair / wig, it's only Hawkeye.
It's only Hawkeye, right?
It's that side-on picture of his hair.
I've seen it. I'm looking at it right now.
It's still funny to me because everything about it is like it's trying to be cool and edgy, but it sucks.
Yeah.
Like it's feathered in a way that you care about it, but it's supposed to be like that you don't care. It's just the dumbest fucking haircut I've seen in maybe 20 years.
And I understand the context of it.
Yeah, I know. Like that's also funny to me.
He's getting in with the Japanese mod, the whatever they're called. What are they called?
The Yakuza.
The Yakuza, right. And I understand that, but like...
Is he trying to throw him off? Like,
I know. We know you're not Japanese, they'd say to him, to Hawkeye. Your name's Clint Barton. You gave us your name. Not even the tattoo's fooling us.
Yeah,
it's
the
bad
sleeve
hair.
tattoo, the whole thing.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
Do you think the next movie that he's in will have him getting a laser off?
Maybe, yeah.
In like Tony Stark's lab, he's getting the tattoo taken off.
Maybe, yeah.
You know?
He looks like a guy who dies by putting a bunch of firecrackers in his ass at like a barbecue.
Yeah,
by a lake. Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
It even looks like this photo here, it looks like he's at a lake house and he's put them in his butt and they're lit and he's like,
and everyone's laughing.
Am I making a mistake here? No, I'm cool. This will be legendary. And then he explodes.
Incredible.
Yeah. All right, good work.
It's so bad. Like, that's like the Predator in terms of like, there's nothing even close to that.
Yeah.
Like, just not even...
Yeah.
Like wet, dry, up, down. It's just...
It doesn't look bad in any... It doesn't look good in any situation. You're right, yeah.
Why did he do it?
Yeah. Even looking at it, it's...
I know we're talking about this a lot, but...
You know what would even work better? Just take the back bit off. If it was just
Absolutely.
the top of his... Just the hair on the top of his head.
Skunk
it's
mullet.
It's a skunk ferret situation, yeah. The fact that he's got a skunk mullet is... imagine... The fact that movie doesn't end with he sees his wife again and she doesn't point at his head and go, what? Somebody in that family isn't like, what? I know you've done a lot of weird stuff in this gig you've got, but you've gone too far.
Terrific.
Yes.
Anyway, this is a bit self-indulgent, but the best meme or thing Mason loves.
Okay, what do we got?
We've got AAA. That's what I decided. So we went A. Big Sandwich. Bob Iger is Mason's dad.
Yep.
Defenders of the Earth.
Defenders of the Earth. Defenders.
Got him, Mason.
We got
right now.
Burned him.
Anyway, you guys get it.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, nice. Yep.
Different pants.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Dune or Dune? This must be nonsense if you've never heard the show. Or even if you have. Guy who doesn't know what Star Wars is.
Yep.
Guy who knows everything about anime. Two of our famous characters.
Yeah, yep.
I don't know what to do. the thing they cut out of X-Men. Milkshake Song. Oh my God, it's the Weekly Planet. Robat Bat and Bat.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Star Wars news. Trailers ahoy. Tram memes. Or yes and no. No context.
Look, on the one hand, I feel
like this is to you to
decide. This isn't look, not being self-indulgent, but the idea of everybody especially got together on like Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates group. Everybody was so talented and put together so many funny tram memes.
Yes.
If you haven't seen them, join the group and look up tram memes because you'll see them. People really went all out in the creativity. So I'm going to give it to that.
Yes.
But just because the listeners were so good and funny with all those, but I enjoyed Big Sandwich just because we got some free content from your kid,
content,
you know?
Yeah, we monetized him finally.
That's right, yeah, right?
Yeah, I quite like Big Sandwich as well. I mean, how can
the secret is? They're not even that big. He thinks they're big.
Tell him. I mean, comparatively.
He thinks they're big because he's a little man.
But we'll never tell.
That's right.
Yeah.
One day he's going to be like, this is just a regular sandwich.
Yeah, and then he'll leave.
Yeah.
With a bindle.
A big bindle.
Big regular sized bindle. Best video game. I don't know what you played this year, but I've got there's a lot in the list.
Yep.
I haven't played a bunch of those.
Okay.
But Jedi Fallen Order,
Liked
Ape Escape, which I really liked on Switch, where you're just an ape escaping a building, smashing people. Control.
I like Control more than you did, I think.
And Untitled Goose Game. But the game I put the most time into was Ape Escape and Jedi Fallen Order. And I know Jedi Fallen Order is not perfect, and this can be a bit janky. And I'm annoyed that I finished it and there's not like combat arenas you can just do. You can just hone your skills because you have to go to planets and do. And I don't because at the end of like God and War and that they're like no, you've unlocked this arena where you can just waves of troopers come at you and you just kill them. I would love it if you could just do that. And you can't redo the last mission, which was my favorite mission in the game because it dumps you back in the world before that.
I see, right.
So if they updated, and I also don't want to go back to the very start because I don't have all of my powers. So that aside, I just really enjoyed like the story and I did the gameplay and the lightsaber combat, and I really liked it.
I really liked Fallen Order as well for all the reasons you mentioned.
Thanks.
But I also liked, and I didn't play as much of it as I liked, but just in terms of the world, I really like Control.
Yes.
I feel like maybe, and this is odd to say because it's a video game. I feel like the combat was kind of samey. But I mean that's most video games, certainly. And I kind of felt like I was maybe getting through the combat just to get to the story.
Yeah, right. Okay,
but, you can crank it down to easy.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what you can do. But I really enjoyed the world and just the dream logic that and the concepts of the game and how objects were imbued with power in the game and like the origin of the weird universe we were all in. I think that was good.
Okay. And then you're going to go back to it?
I think I will, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Some other ones on there if people want to vote. There's like Apex Legends, Borderlands 3, the new Call of Duty, Death Stranding, Disco Elysium.
I hear that's really good.
Fire Emblem, Gears 5, Luigi's Mansion, Mortal Kombat 11, which I'm waiting for them to like do it all, and then I can just buy it all at once.
The Platinum Edition or whatever it is, yeah.
Outer Wilds is apparently incredible. Or is it the Outer Worlds, which also came out this year? Pokemon Sword and Shield. Resident Evil 2 I didn't really like because it was like... I liked it because mechanically it's way better.
Okay.
But it's also like, get the key to get the code, to get the key to get the code. Have you got the key?
Well, here's a code. Here's a code and you need a code.
Yeah. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I do also want to get because apparently it's not like...
Because you fight a giant ape that throws its poop at you.
Exactly. Is that true?
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah.
And Untitled Goose Game, which I did mention, which is just a fun
and
quirky little indie game, which is from Melbourne.
I'm not sure. I don't know if Disco Elysium is on PS4 yet.
Okay.
But that seems very good. That's its own strange world. It's like a point. Yeah, it's like a sort of
I
point
love
and click.
the look of that one. Yeah. Is it on Switch?
I think maybe.
Good, because then I can get it on Switch.
It's some sort of weird staggered release. Like it's on PC, I think, and then it's other stuff later. But I'm looking forward to that. I think I will get that.
Okay.
I don't because it's been a long time since I've played a point and click.
Oh, maybe it's not on Switch yet.
Okay.
Balls. Because that feels like the perfect thing you can play on Switch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But again, it's this weird, somewhat dystopian world. Like it's the world building is what gets me. I think And the point and clicking. That's cool too.
Click. Do what you gotta do.
Maybe I mentioned this a while back, but I haven't played it yet, but there's a adventure game that came out a couple of years ago by the guys that did Monkey Island.
Oh yeah,
it's the Thimbleweed Forest.
Yes,
I'm going to get that.
You have mentioned that.
Yeah, I have mentioned that. I've got to get it. I haven't
on Switch?
got to it yet.
It's on Switch.
I think it's probably on Switch.
Great.
Yeah.
What about this best comedy? got here Stuber, Zombieland 2, Double Tap, Booksmart, Good Boys, Long Shot, Always Be My Maybe. There's more, but those are the ones that
you saw Stuber, right?
I saw all of these.
What did you think about Stuber?
I liked it. Mm-hmm. It's not brilliant, but it's buddy cop.
Yep.
And it's a good version of that.
Yeah, right.
It's better than Taxi with Jimmy Fallon and someone else.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's Queen Latifah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So it's better than a movie that came out 20 years ago?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, right. Wow.
Zombieland's solid. Booksmart's good. I didn't love it. Claire liked it more than me. Good Boys is it's like a younger version of because it is a Seth Rogen, Evan.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So what's that? One of those.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
But I Always Been Maybe I really liked. But I also really liked Long Shot with Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen. And nobody really saw it. She's like a presidential candidate and they start dating or whatever.
Right.
Did you see that?
I didn't see that,
It's
no.
really funny and they're both really good.
Okay, I should get that down.
Mm.
For me, it's probably a toss-up between Booksmart and Always Be My Maybe. You're right. It's Booksmart's pretty solid. I think I might have to give it a rewatch just to see. You know what I liked about Always Be My Maybe? It's the little things. Do you remember the movie Role Models?
Yeah.
The Role Models was Sean William Scott and Paul Rudd. What I loved about it was there was a running gag in the movie about a Paul McCartney Wings song. Everybody thinks it's everybody's like, hey, remember this song? And Paul Rudd, who's like this really uptight dude, is like,
take me
down to the streets, right? And he is so mad that everybody thinks this is a real song. He's like, it's not a real song, because he's like, that's his whole character, is he's got to be right and everybody else is wrong and everybody else is the worst kind of thing. And then at the end we get a full rendition of the Paul McCartney Wings song, Love Take Me Down to the Streets. And it's just that little touch that they went there. But this
I know what you mean.
This in Randall Park's character in this in Always Be My Maybe has a like a struggling band, the name of which I forget.
I can Google that. While you keep
something.
talking, yeah.
It's some sort of Asian stereotype joke,
Sure.
based joke. But anyway, at the end, there's a song about him punching Keanu Reeves, which happens in the movie, and it's
a rap, right?
It's a rap of sorts, and
how he could dodge a bullet, but he can't dodge him.
And they got this guy Dan the Automator, who's like a famous hip hop producer in America, to produce it, and it's kind of they really committed to this bit. And
Hello Peril.
Hello Peril, there we go. And there's like a whole, I think there's a whole EP on. If
you
go to Spotify,
yeah,
you
I think
can
there might be. Yeah,
you can listen to all their songs.
Yeah.
But just I feel like that is symbolic of that movie. Like that really kind of it. And again, it's just a kind of pretty solid, funny movie. But they kind of went the extra mile with all the jokes and all the stuff in there.
I agree.
So
I like that movie.
It's
a lot.
very genuine.
And I like the two leads in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
What about this best villain? We've got Thanos, Joker, the Emperor, It from It, Mysterio, Margaret, who's the villain from Dark Phoenix.
Margaret. Who's the actor again? It's
Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain. There we go.
Were you going to say Bronwyn Bishop?
No, I was going to say Bryce Dallas Howard.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that would have been fine too. Yeah. Jafar.
Yeah, it was Bronwyn Bishop. Former Australian politician Bronwyn Bishop.
Brixton.
Oh, from Hobbs and Shaw, sure, yeah.
And Ghidorah from Godzilla, who I didn't mind. For me, I like Thanos, and I think the Joker as a villain works. That's the element. That performance is what I like about that movie. Mm-hmm. But I think Mysterio.
I also think it's Mysterio. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I haven't watched that movie in quite some time. But
it's what you're talking about. Everything you said about the hair, you could apply to the character.
Yeah, right.
And how it takes that turn.
Yeah.
And the elements of the costume.
I feel like we can spoil Spider-Man Far From Home at this point.
I mean, we already knew going in.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but that's the thing though.
And we even knew it was still good. Yeah.
There was a Mysterio is a villain. He's a long-time Spider-Man villain.
Sure.
And even his debut appearance was he appears as a hero, and then it's revealed, and to replace Spider-Man. At the end, it's revealed, of course, that he's the villain.
Yes.
And this is the same in this movie. And there was a bunch of rumors, not rumors, but people are speculating, rampant speculation on the internet of like, maybe he is a good guy in this. Maybe they've turned it around on us. And I'm like, well, that's obviously dumb.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there were seconds in this movie where I'm like, he is a good guy. Seems pretty genuine.
It's pretty same. I'm like, maybe it's the next movie that they turn this.
Yeah, right.
But it kind of happened. It flips in a scene, and it really works. Yeah.
And just the whole, I enjoyed the whole apparatus of Mysterio as a villain. Like it's not just him; it's a team.
It's like 20,
and sometimes he's in a mocap suit, and sometimes he's in a fake suit. Sometimes he's a hologram. Yeah. Just the very idea of it.
Yeah, I agree. So we're on the same page.
Yeah. Do you think he's still alive?
Yep.
Okay.
Or they can bring him back using technology.
Yeah, right.
Yes, I think he'll return. What about best Star War? We've of course got The Rise of Skywalker.
Yep.
The Mandalorian. The Rise of Kylo Ren, which is a new comic, which I feel like if there was a few more, I'd probably put on here.
Yep.
It'd probably be higher up. And Jedi Fallen Order. I like The Mandalorian. It's not consistently great.
Right.
So I'm going to go Jedi Fallen Order.
I think I will also go Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian is
It's been a decent year for comics as well for Star Wars.
It's good popcorn TV. And it's not. It's the right length for the amount of content in it.
Yes.
They're not trying to stretch a 30-minute plot into an hour every week. And I appreciate that it is weekly.
Definitely. And also, we're obviously not talking about the last one because we haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it, it's not out yet. Yeah. And, it is precisely engineered for us to be like, oh my God, I love that Baby Yoda. How good's that Baby Yoda? Let's purchase some Baby Yoda products.
Let's kiss him.
Yeah, right. Or eat him. A lot of people out there want to eat Baby Yoda.
He'd probably be pretty good.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and like a salad, he'd probably.
Okay.
Mix him through like a couscous salad, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
I
was thinking more like I want to roast him over an open fire.
I want poached.
One of those little like a kebab.
Yeah, I get you. Like when they're doing that salacious crumb.
I want to salacious crumb him.
Right.
And breadcrumb him. Also.
And breadcrumb him, yeah. We got.
Wait, Mandalorian though.
Oh, what do you think?
Again, it's kind of a throwback to your and we always say this, but I feel like it's like a very good Xena warrior princess.
Agreed.
Yeah. But
I feel the same and it looks better.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like the sense of scope in Fallen Order is amazing.
I agree.
Great.
And the storytelling is also good.
Great,
especially for a video game.
Yeah.
And
the only thing that annoys me about Fallen Order is there's no fast travel.
Yes.
Unless they've patched it or anything. I don't think they have, right?
You can do shortcuts.
There are sometimes shortcuts.
Yeah, there's a lot of looking at a map and being like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah, there's a lot of okay, well now go to another planet. And I'm like, okay, well I'm going to have to jump over all those mountains again to get back to the ship. But it would be nice to just go back to the ship.
But also for me, everything on this list is better than The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Best comic. These are mine, but you feel free to add whatever you like.
Ready.
Old Man Quill. Okay. I really liked.
Yep.
It's about Old Man Peter Quill, obviously. Die, which is the book about people that get sucked into the weird fantasy RPG turn-based strategy world, which is still ongoing, which I really like. Criminal. You read Criminal?
Not the most new.
Consistently good, sort of connected.
Okay.
Deceased, I really liked. It ends in kind of a hurry.
That's interesting because even though it's kind of it's Marvel Zombies, but DC. Yeah.
It's really, the characterization is spot on.
Yep.
I really like the version of Superman they create in this, and he has the son, and the spoiler alert, he has to say goodbye at one point, and what happens if like a speedster is a zombie?
Yeah, right.
What kind of damage can that person do? Spencer and Locke Volume 2 came out this year, which I love, but I think it's Spider-Man Life Story.
It's not Doomsday Clock?
I think it's Spider-Man Life Story, Mason.
Yep, I should get to Spider-Man Life Story with this recommendation,
By the way, for those who don't know, it's like the whole entirety of Spider-Man's story told, but it's in real time, so it starts in the 60s and goes to modern day, and he ages, so by the time you end it. But it also in the era that the comic comes out in, or is set, is the era of the stuff that happens in that comic era.
Is there a Venom situation?
Yeah, there's a Venom situation.
That's great.
I can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to read it again over the summer.
Okay, well, I'm going to read it for the first time. That sounds really good.
So Watchmen for you then, DC's.
Yeah, Doomsday Clock. No, absolutely not. Maybe Immortal Hulk, is that on your list?
Oh, that's on the other list, but I haven't finished that, so I didn't put it on.
Okay, I really liked Immortal Hulk. Yeah, that's a nice take on.
Let me bring that up. There's Batman Last Night on Earth. I
got him here. Yeah, Criminal, Daredevil, Deceased, Die, Doomsday Clock.
Apparently Daredevil this year's been really good. I haven't read any of it though.
I've also I like Jonathan Hickman.
Yeah,
the writer. He's done a lot of great stuff that I enjoy, but I've not read House of X, Powers of X.
Yes.
You know why? Because there's too much stuff. Don't give me two series that I have to read alternately. Stop it. There's one here. It says Laura Dean keeps breaking up with me. I don't know what that is. Also, I initially read it as Laura Dern keeps breaking up with me, which I'd read that. Yeah. You know what? I read some of Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
I was going to save that for what we're reading.
That is a fun series
and a throwback.
Yeah,
because it ended like 30 years ago. That series, maybe.
Yeah,
they've brought it back.
I like Jimmy Olsen.
Is it Chip Zdarsky or Matt Fraction? It's one of those.
One of those two. Yeah,
I've written it down for later.
I think it's Fraction. Yeah. Maybe.
Okay, so for me, it's Spider-Man. For you, it's
Jimmy Olsen. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And Doomsday Clock, obviously. Just kidding, it's bad.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
It's not bad, but it's kind of bad. But it let us down.
Just kidding. We loved it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We didn't.
Yeah.
Best movie you didn't think was great. So this is a movie that people are like, this has revolutionized cinema.
Oh, then Joker.
This has changed the game. You didn't let me finish.
Joker.
This has changed the game in terms of comic book movies. If you think you know iconic DC villains,
It's Joker.
Have you even seen what's coming your way?
The movie Joker. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah. I've also put The Irishman, which I guess they're both Scorsese-esque ones here.
Yeah.
But it's for me, it's Joker.
Is there anything else besides
There is.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to hear the nominations at least.
Yeah, sure. So I've got 2 lists open here. Yeah, maybe that's just one that I might have just added that by myself.
Okay,
That's
well,
not on
that's
the list.
okay.
What about limited ones for this? So I just want to point that out here. But best hulking grey CGI villains.
There were less
Previous
this
years,
year.
it's a bumper year for
Yeah,
hulking
who did
grey
we have
CGI.
this year?
Okay, here we've got all the monsters from Shazam.
Oh, yep, they really.
What are they all? One's a gargoyle.
Uh-huh.
One's a different looking gargoyle. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right. Uh-huh, yeah.
The other one is Jake Gyllenhaal in a mocap suit.
It's true. Can we also add the Knights of Ren to that?
Ooh, not bad, Mason.
They're not that CGI,
No,
but
some of them probably are.
some of them probably in I would imagine in a lot of scenes they were just added in post.
Agreed.
So
I mean, in the tradition of DC CGI,
I think we have
villains.
to give it to Shazam. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what even were they? Was there a bird one and a slug one and a lion one? Probably.
There was probably a lion.
Probably a
bird slug
lion.
one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm, yeah.
What about this, Mason?
I'm ready.
Worst trailer. Sonic, the first version.
Yes.
I kind of wish they didn't change it,
Oh,
so we'd get the weird, terrible version.
maybe there'll be a reverse patch.
Oh, please.
Right.
Or someone will fix it to make
Yeah.
it worse.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Dolittle, which I didn't think, I thought nothing of it when I
Yeah.
first watched
Uh-huh.
it.
Yeah.
And then going back being like, this is nothing.
Mm.
And of course, Cats.
Yeah.
Cats is a nightmare, right?
I really like the first Sonic trailer because it's got Gangster's Paradise in it for no reason.
Yep.
And it's so weirdly paced.
Yep.
And most of the movie seems to be in it.
Yes, and it's bad.
And it's bad, yeah. The
Yeah.
movie looks bad. I think it might
Okay,
be
I'm
Sonic
gonna
for
say
me.
Cats 'cause it's terrifying.
God, I can't wait to watch Cats.
I
But there's so
know.
I gotta watch Jojo Rabbit. I gotta watch
Yeah.
other stuff.
You gotta watch Cats.
I gotta watch Cats though. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta watch Cat. I mean, Jojo Rabbit will at least be out for a few weeks.
Yes.
Cats might be out for 2 days
That's
and then
true.
it's gone.
That's true.
Yeah.
Best trailer: Rise of Skywalker,
Mm-hmm,
Black Widow, Wonder Woman 84, Free Guy,
Mm-hmm.
Ghostbusters, Tenet, Battle at Big Rock, which is the short film.
Is Robert Pattinson in Tenet as well?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So you're gonna give it to him?
No.
I'm gonna give it to because it really surprised me.
Wonder Woman 84? No, okay.
That was exactly what I thought it would be.
Okay,
In a good
right,
way. Free Guy.
Yeah, right.
I thought that was a really fun trailer that sold that movie I wasn't really interested in. But then I watched the first 10 minutes of
Six
Underground
Underground.
and I was like, oh, if it's even remotely like this.
Because I insisted you
Yeah,
watch it
you
after
sat-
we talked
I watched
about
a little bit with you and
Uh-huh.
why is there a parkour guy?
I don't know.
I didn't finish it.
Look, we talked about that, but I think these days
Atrocious.
parkour is integrated into regular movies. The idea that, oh my God, what a fresh idea, a parkour guy, he just does parkour.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Best trailer.
Yeah. I feel like Tenet's like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I guess.
But I guess that's good.
I guess the key to a good trailer is do we want to see more of this? And I definitely want to see more of Tenet.
Yes, fair
I don't know
enough.
if it's going to be as good as Inception. A solid movie.
I really like the Rise of Skywalker trailer, like the
Yeah.
second one maybe.
Yeah. Also, is that the key to a good trailer? Does it trick you into watching a movie?
I mean, it didn't trick me. I was going to say
Yeah, well, I
it
was also going to say it.
regardless,
Yeah. Okay, it's maybe Tenet.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because
What
what's the Tenet?
What is the Tenet? I guess this is sort of a
It's a
spoiler.
palindrome.
Is it?
Yes,
Well, no, if you turn an N backwards, it's just a backwards N.
that's a good point.
Thank you.
Yeah, good point.
If it was Temet, it would be a palindrome.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
But then wouldn't an E be backwards?
Oh, Mason, what have I done?
Yeah.
Tinit.
Tenet.
Timit.
Timid.
Timit.
Yeah. I'd watch Timid.
Me too. Best dead or CGI de-aged or re-aged actor.
Oh my god,
let's
these are
say.
really this category is piling up.
expanding
For a while it was
every
just
year.
de-age, and now it's like we'll bring back the dead. We don't care.
Yeah, we'll make someone really old. Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher from The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Carrie Fisher young, but also bringing back Carrie Fisher in general.
Yeah.
The Irishmen from The Irishman.
Absolutely the worst.
Yeah.
Incredibly bad.
Will Smith from that one he was in, but also some of the best, but also some of the worst.
Well, here's the thing about the Gemini Man.
Oh, that's what it's called.
It's called Gemini Man. That's all I wanted to say. It's
Mm.
called Gemini Man. But the mistake there was to do the de-aging thing and also the weird
mocap thing.
the frames per second thing.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
I think people would have been able to better focus on the CGI, some of which is very impressive and some of which is terrible, if there weren't also scenes that look like you're in the room with a bunch of actors on a set, just doing actory stuff.
It's a good movie.
It's easier to it's harder to focus on that if you're like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Am I in this movie?
So bad. You're
Yeah,
saying.
it's bad. Yeah.
There's also Chris Evans, aged up.
Is that mostly makeup though?
No, it's because they do the It's
right.
a mix.
Yeah, right.
Nick Fury, aged down.
Didn't really notice that much.
No.
If anything, Coulson is a better.
Yeah, in some scenes.
But also you have to watch. I feel like those two are subtle enough that I would really have to watch like an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then go back and watch Captain Marvel and go, oh, he does look significantly
or is that
younger.
just a wig?
Yeah, right.
'Cause he doesn't look that old.
No, that's true.
And Stan Lee, who's briefly in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Carrie Fisher thing because it's in a complete. I mean, I don't think it's that well executed story wise because they were limited by what they could do, but she's just there, and you don't. It just looks like she's standing.
I mean, there is. Yeah, that is true. Actually,
the weird stuff isn't the.
It's the
special
context.
Effects. Yeah, it's the context.
The weird stuff is the fact that they've had to recontextualize the lines she used from Force Awakens into real conversations with other people, and so they're weird and generic, and it never feels like she's having a conversation. But the remainder of it, the fact that she is in scenes, and it doesn't feel like they've added her in post. That's actually kind of amazing.
Okay,
the bit where she's young and in
bit more
Force
wonky.
Training with Luke back in the day. That's a little bit wonky as well.
But the Luke looks terrific.
Yeah, right.
Weird. Yeah.
So yeah, good winners there.
Best kids film: Frozen 2, Jumanji 4, Toy Story. Let's say Toy Story.
Okay, cool. Good one. Moving on. All right. Yep.
What about this? Worst sequel or reboot?
I'm ready.
Rambo: Last Blood.
Yes.
Men in Black.
Oh, also yes.
Lion King.
Yep.
Hellboy.
No.
Shaft.
You hated Shaft, if I recall.
Hated it.
You hated Shaft.
I hated the you can't say anything these days. Kids and their phones and fucking blah blah. It's a bloody PC, and I'm from a different generation. Fuck off with that.
I liked it.
Awful.
I liked it. So you're giving it to that?
No,
over all the
I'm
others?
still going to give it to Rambo.
I'm going to give it to the first three on the list. All three. What were those three again?
Rambo, Men in Black, Lion King.
Terrible. All terrible.
I like that Shaft at least built off Shaft 2000.
Yeah, right? Uh-huh.
Which I maintain is not a bad film.
You would.
Get off your phones and solve some. Why are you going on your maps to find a crime when we could go to a warehouse and punch a woman or whatever that movie's about?
I mean, that's a really good point, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Have you ever found a crime on your phone? On maps?
I guess not.
Yeah.
They mostly hide those pins, don't they?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
What about this? Best and worst comic book movie. Joker, Endgame, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Shazam, Dark Phoenix. Probably others.
Yep.
The worst is Dark Phoenix for me.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, what did I expect? But also, you don't get a pass because I thought it would be terrible.
Can you slow down the list again
Sure.
and do it again?
Joker,
Yep.
Endgame, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel,
Yep.
Shazam,
Yep.
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, look, here's the thing. Again, I didn't like Joker.
Yep.
I don't feel it's comic booky beyond some names or whatever. But in terms of performance, great. Joaquin Phoenix is great. The production of that world is great. It looks just like the 80s from other movies from the 80s.
Sure.
I think there's stuff to like about that movie, although I didn't like it as a whole. There's nothing to like about Dark Phoenix. There's nothing to like about that movie.
What about the villain, Margaret?
Oh, Margaret was pretty good. And the iconic line, "I don't know what to do," which they cut out. That's
How dare they?
right.
Did you hear they're releasing a trailer for New Mutants soon in January,
Apparently some people are liking it, but some people probably like Dark Phoenix, and they're objectively wrong.
Objectively.
There's nothing good about that movie. Nobody cares. Everybody's phoning it in. Makes no sense. There's a whole scene where they're trapped in a game of Frogger. They're like, we're going to get to that building. I mean, some of us can fly or whatever, but there's traffic. There's just some traffic in front of
There's
it.
3 cars in the way.
There's 3 cars in the way. What are we going to do? We'll get squished like a frog. Awful. Boring.
They didn't even really go to space.
Didn't even go to space.
I mean, they did, but you know.
Yeah, right.
Did they?
Yeah.
Could you, if you can get like a Virgin Galactic jet or whatever and do that,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't count, man.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
If you can still do it, if I could pay enough money to do it, it doesn't count.
Right, good.
Yeah, it's Dark Phoenix. I feel like
Congratulations,
Shazam
Dark
is
Phoenix.
kind of getting overlooked, but it's solid.
That's what I'm talking about. That's probably why it's been overlooked in basically every category we've nominated in.
Because it's not the worst.
It's not the worst.
best.
It's pretty good, except in hulking CGI monsters, in which case it is the worst.
What about this? Worst special effect. The Irishman, Sonic with human hands and human teeth, Cats, Will Smith in Aladdin the trailer, but only the trailer because he looks better in the movie, or Gemini Man in some scenes.
Wow, yeah.
And some of Hellboy, specifically the scene where a ghost comes out of somebody's tonsils or something.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, I'm your dad and I'm here.
I think it's The Irishman. Because I don't know what age anybody's supposed to be in that movie.
And
they're like, oh, here you are, young man. Coming in and have some candy, young man. Little boy, Robert De Niro. How old is he supposed to be? I saw a thing on YouTube. It was Vanity Fair or something like that, and it was like the costuming. You know,
that's all good.
The costumers come in and they're like, break down this scene and why all the characters like this. And there's a scene where he's like, the scene where Joe Pesci's character helps Robert De Niro fix his car up.
Yeah.
And he's like, and they're like, well, here, Robert De Niro is wearing a leather jacket such as a young man might wear, like a youth might wear in this scene. And it's like, I understand what you're working with here.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be a young man in this. That's astounding. Like, clearly the memo went around. Here's a man in his 20s to 30s. And,
No. They're all the same age.
And it doesn't service this
It makes it confusing.
It doesn't service the movie if you're like, what era is this, a flashback or a flash forward?
Yeah.
How old is he supposed to be now? Then
the older stuff is better.
Yeah.
The old man stuff,
Yeah.
but that's I feel mostly prosthetic.
I can't even remember what award this is.
More special effects.
Oh, then it's still The Irishman. Yeah.
I'm going to say also because it's also the worst implementation of it. I mean, Cats. It's Cats. I'm going to give it to Cats.
But Cats is at least something.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but Cats is. But it's also badly executed in terms of like we talked about it, the dots and the whatever. So I'm going to say Cats.
All right, fine.
Best special effect.
Okay.
Alita, The Lion King, New Sonic, Pokemon, Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
Because a lot of those are like excellent.
Yep.
Or the Mysterio illusion.
For me, it's the Mysterio illusion. I'm probably biased. It's a big year for Gyllenhaal.
But it's also the best use of CGI.
And I appreciate a lot if again, not a Pokemon guy, but I appreciate that they brought the Pokemon into a real world scenario. And they're not terrifying and they're kind of like if they're not just all weird squeaky vinyl monsters like you would imagine a lot of Pokemon would be like,
Yes.
And again, there's a lot to like. Alita's
really good.
Cyborgs
Most
are
of it's good.
Yeah. Lion King, flawless, amazing, incredible, don't care. We'll never watch that again. Don't want to. Yuck.
Yeah.
No good, boring.
So to me, it's either Pokemon or Mysterio, but I'm going to go Mysterio.
Yeah, nice.
What about best rig, as in bod?
Oh, yeah.
Kumail Nanjiani, obviously.
Does he count because he's not in a movie yet?
It still was
It's
released.
just Hollywood.
It's for a movie.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
It doesn't have to count. It does. Does it matter?
None of this matters. I just wanted to make it clear once again for us and the listeners, none of these matters. Yeah. There's physically no award.
Yes.
And nobody involved ever knows they've won one of these awards. So,
and if we could all just keep it that way,
we could keep it under the table. Nobody go up to somebody and be like, you won the Game On Award a couple of years ago because your movie was crap. Don't do that. Don't tell them.
It's nice being anonymously making fun of things.
I think so too.
Yeah. So James McAvoy, his muscular back, oh boy.
Oh, yeah, in Glass, sure.
Really good in that. Like, he really bigged up. Mm-hmm. Zachary Levi in Shazam, again,
just
complete
a battleship of a man.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of that is suit, but he still did it.
Is he shirtless in it at all?
I don't think he is, actually.
Oh, right, yeah.
So he does it, So if the tree fall in the woods,
but if you see him on the street or whatever and he's just wearing a T-shirt, he's still a tank of a man. But.
And Chris Hemsworth for the new version of Thor.
Yeah,
bro
Thor. Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
But he didn't really.
Yeah, but it's still a rig, isn't it?
It's still a rig, but look, personally, I'm disqualifying
It's the same as a wig. It's the same as a wig.
I don't think it is, though.
It's the same as a wig,
A wig's not a rig. You dig? That's my philosophy.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't think it should be Thor. I mean, it's a good fat man suit.
Yeah.
But also, Marvel have just the one joke about that. It's always like, what if a man was fat?
What if a man was fat?
What if a man was fat? Wouldn't that be funny?
Don't just do that. What do you mean, the one joke for that movie or in general? I think it was also kind of did some interesting things of like depression and weight gain.
That's true, yeah.
Whatever.
But are we counting that or is it just
No,
absolutely
Mason,
not. No, exactly.
Well, we are. Does it matter?
Yeah. Kumail,
definitely
very impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not in a movie yet, but damn.
Good work.
Good word.
What about this?
Again, absolutely unsustainable. Don't even.
I'm doing it right now.
No, don't do it.
Best cameo. Mike Moe as Bruce Lee. Pretty good.
I mean, it's a good. Yeah. Okay.
I know people are like it's controversial in terms of like what Bruce Lee was like as a person, but he is like dead on.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
The crisis stuff. the
some of it.
Superman's
Look,
back. I think most of the stuff I've seen
it's
is
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's some of it's kind of.
Yep.
But that's what that whole universe is a bit fan servicey. You know, there's a scene where Constantine meets Lucifer, and it's kind of exactly as hammy as you'd think it would be. But you know,
Superman from the neck down in Shazam.
Yep, great.
Stan Lee.
He's a couple of times though, right? This year.
Yeah, Captain Marvel and Endgame.
Right? Yeah.
No, I don't think he's in Spider-Man. I don't think he is.
No, I don't think he is. Yeah.
Stephen King in It.
Yep.
And just most of the cast in The Rise of Skywalker.
Well, look, it's nice to see Stephen King in a thing. That's fun.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to say Stan Lee because it's his last.
And in Endgame?
Yes.
I'm going to say Stan Lee and Captain Marvel because I feel that is the nicest and the sweetest one, I think.
Okay, sure.
Because
they tied it into Mallrats.
Yeah, Endgame is good, but...
This film to me is more like, for me, it's a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think they're still going to put him in another one at some point.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Okay, right.
But yeah, give it a couple of years or less.
Yeah, right. I feel like that was the I don't know. I feel like Endgame was kind of blink and you miss it. He goes past and people go, "Oh, Stanley, there's Stanley."
Yeah.
But I feel like in Captain Marvel, people are like, "Oh,
they really held it.
Oh, that's nice."
Fair enough. There's some good stuff in here though.
Yeah.
Biggest disappointment. I mean, you could put in some Game of Thrones here, which isn't here, but Godzilla King of Monsters. That's a bunch of wet farts, that one.
Were you disappointed though? Or you kind of like that's kind of...
I'm not a huge fan.
I feel
like Godzilla fans weren't disappointed with that. So
I feel like you should factor in, are big fans disappointed? Also, were you expecting a lot, generally?
I was hoping it would be as good as the first one, which for me it wasn't. But then again, if you love Godzilla, I think a lot of people do love that. But I think they got the scale was weird and it doesn't matter. Brightburn.
I was not disappointed. I
was.
Okay, right.
Glass.
Hang on, in what way?
It just wasn't.
What did you want more
I wanted
of or
it
less
just to be
of?
a better film.
What would make it better though?
I don't know. We did an episode. I can't remember.
Okay,
we should probably.
But you've just got a lingering sense of disappointment.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Glass.
Right. I see. I feel Brightburn gave more to me than I thought it would. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely. The end part.
Glass sucked, but I didn't think it was going to be good.
Yeah.
So. If there's one more category, we can maybe drop it in later.
So I can sync it with Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Ooh.
I mean, I didn't. Yeah.
I held it. You know what? I
had hoped that it was.
I didn't think it was going to be great. Maybe I did help. I think maybe when we reviewed it, I said I wasn't really disappointed because I didn't think it was going to be great. I think maybe I still did hold out some hope.
Yes.
I think it's in thinking about it a little bit. I'm disappointed that it wasn't better for me, and I didn't get a lot out of it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
What a wet end to a finale of a saga.
I'm going to say Game of Thrones.
What about?
I was probably more invested.
What about Dark Phoenix though? Just kidding. It wasn't good, and nobody expected it to be good.
Well, here we go. This works into our next topic. Movies they need to stop making.
Oh yeah, X-Men.
X-Men. I mean, they have.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that counts. Like they're not going to.
Well, they still should.
I mean, they've got the New Mutants coming anyway.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Terminator, Disney live action remakes, Men in Black. For me, it's Men in Black.
Right.
Stop. Unless you've got an idea, stop making Men in Black movies.
I think I would watch another one if
it was good.
Yeah, if it was good.
Imagine.
What a twist. I mean, in many ways, I'd watch any of these if they were still good. But what do we mean by should stop making?
Like, we've had enough of this now. You've ruined it.
Us personally or the world? Because I think the world isn't tired of saying...
The world is saying Terminator stop.
Yeah, the world is saying no more Terminators. The world isn't saying no more live-action Disney remakes.
That's
the world
true.
is saying give us more of those. I would say I'm not interested in seeing any more of those.
Some of these I've just added.
Yeah,
Obviously,
for sure. I don't want to see any more of those. Lion King killed it for me, I think.
Mulan, though.
Okay, after this one.
After
Milan.
And then
stop.
Hercules, and then Lilo and Stitch, and
they
with Lion King too, and...
What they've done is
Return of Jafar.
they've taken all the ones with the most personality and they've turned them into live action things, some of which to me are sorely lacking in character and being interesting. So don't give us less interesting ones. Don't adapt less interesting ones now. It's too late.
What about if they did a live action version of Toy Story? They actually got Tom Hanks to put on a little Woody suit and they shrink him down like in Cats and they make big sets like Johnson and Friends, which is an Australian TV show. Don't worry about it. And then they make all the people giant CGI monsters.
I love
like Andy's like a big terrifying
Jedi
CGI
and it seems
creature.
like an awful dream you can't wake up from.
Yes,
absolutely. Then yes,
and you know, you got Tim Allen and Tim Allen's head in the Buzz Lightyear
Yeah.
suit. He's like, why did I do this?
Everybody's screaming all the
I'd
time.
rather be back in jail because I went to jail in the 80s.
I ratted out my fellow drug dealers. That's how I avoided a longer sentence.
Men in Black for me.
Okay, right. I would see another one. I think they should. I guess the question is, because I would like to see another Terminator. I would like to see another Men in Black.
I don't want to see another Terminator.
But here's the thing, though. I guess should they stop making them given their current course?
Yes.
And I think they should. You're right. They should stop making Men in Blacks unless they're going to revamp it and go back to like first principles and go, how can we change this to make this fresh and entertaining?
But they've also kind of tried to do that multiple times.
Yeah, right.
And they've never got it right.
Yeah. Okay. I think you're right. Men in Black, because they're not gonna.
It's ruined it for me because I think even if they did make a good one, it's like,
If they made another Terminator in the similar style to the last one, I would still watch it. I think because at least I'd be somewhat entertained. I'd be like, I'd like to see how this new timeline plays out.
But they kind of take out a bunch of stuff that I like in that movie.
But I think if they were like, we're going to make a new Men in Black, basically the same as the last one, I'd be like, nah, give it a miss.
We didn't mention also the Arnold de-aging, and that thing was also excellent. And the Edward Furlong and the Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
It's really good in that.
Damn, can we go back and what did I say in the previous one?
I still think it's Carrie Fisher.
I think I'm going to go back because we can do this and say it's Dark Fate just because I thought that was old footage.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you showed me the training sequence in Rise of Skywalker, I'd go, that's new. They've CGI'd that. But I think if you went, that's some old footage from the 90s, I'd go, of course it is.
Yeah.
They dug this out. It was on the DVD. You didn't watch the DVD.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, of course it is.
I did watch the DVD.
I did. I watched all kinds of stuff. I'm up on pop culture things.
Yeah, man. What about best movie you haven't seen? I've got Jojo Rabbit.
This is going to be long.
1917. I've just put some key ones for me.
Yeah, cool.
Ford versus Ferrari or Le Mans, wherever you're
Yes.
from, and The Lighthouse. For me, it's Jojo Rabbit or 1917, which I'm really excited for.
How much is that? Is that supposedly one take?
Well, it's not really, but it's made to look that way.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I think for me, here's the thing about The Lighthouse. I think for me, The Lighthouse will probably ultimately be disappointing, but I love the premise.
Yes.
And I love the idea and how it looks more than I'm sure I'll probably love the movie itself. I think I'll be like, well, that's a series of weird back and forths between Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe.
I agree.
So probably Jojo Rabbit or Ford vs. Ferrari. Just kidding.
I do want to see Ford vs.
right?
Ferrari.
Uh-huh.
I saw someone say on Twitter, I don't know who, it was like, if you love cars going past really fast and then men like taking their glasses off to be like, oh my God, can you believe how fast?
Right.
Then you're going to love it.
What'd you say, Jojo Rabbit and what was another one?
1917. I think it's
what
still Jojo Rabbit for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think it might be, yeah. Yeah, I want right now I want some laughs.
Yes.
And Hitler, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Do you want to do best movie first or worst movie? I guess we should probably end on a positive, right? So let's do best first.
Okay.
No, so, what the people want to see. No, let's do worst first. This is my list.
I think we'd have more to say about worst.
Probably.
Yeah.
We've also got just a movie in the middle.
Oh, yeah,
so
cool.
that's a good kind of... Okay, so for me, I've got here Men in Black International, Dark Phoenix, which again, I feel like giving a pass to because I didn't think it would be good. Right. It's also not the worst X-Men movie.
Right, but this isn't most disappointing. This is worst
What's
of the
crap?
year. This is the worst of the year.
You're right, yeah. Or Will Smith has a clone or is a clone.
Yep.
I wrote that at the time because I couldn't remember what the movie was called, and I didn't want to Google it.
Yeah, right.
But I hated that movie. Like
Gemini Man.
Oh my God, so bland and nothing and not funny and like the lead into like he's allergic to bees. Are you sure he's allergic to bees? Do you think his clone's allergic to bees? Let's test if you're allergic to bees. We get it. Chekhov's bee.
James, are you allergic to bees? Is that what's going on
Shh,
here?
Tell anybody. I'm not allergic to bees.
You know what? I think for me, the charm of Will Smith and Mary Elizabeth Winstead saved that from being a total
I
trash
really
fire to
like
me.
her in particular.
Yep.
I mean, he's good as well, obviously, but no, I just thought it was so like. Was this made in 1994?
It did feel like a product of
and it's Ang Lee as well, which to me, I'm like, how did you make this?
I don't know what Ang Lee's deal is. What's happening in Ang Lee's head? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He did Hulk, the one
I
that
know.
you like.
Is he a true auteur? Is that why?
I think he is.
But he's just got, he misfires more
I just think these like kind of Western adaptations of comic books or action movies or whatever, he's generally not great at. I'm going to double check that to make sure. But like I feel like the ones that I've seen, I'm like, not good. But then you look at like Brokeback Mountain, which is incredible.
Yeah. And then you look at Hulk.
Yeah.
Don't.
Don't.
It's bad.
Yeah, so he did Crouching Tiger, obviously, and
Yeah.
he also did Sense and Sensibility.
Huh.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. Anyway, so yeah, for me it's that one because I just thought it was, and what a waste of money and like a great technology.
Yeah, right. This might have been. Look, I think for me, Dark Phoenix is one of the worst. Look, and again, who's an engaging personality in that movie?
Yes.
Who? Name a person.
I won't.
I mean, McAvoy's in it, but he's not good. Jennifer Lawrence is good, is in it, but she's not good. Like
she's in it, but
everybody else is just generic in that.
yes.
Maybe I didn't like. I mean, Glass was bad, certainly.
Yeah, I think you really hated that.
I kind of hate Glass.
What about The Irishman, Mason?
It had the potential.
But Irishman's not bad.
No,
I
it's
guess.
not.
Yeah.
It's not objectively bad, and it's a the thing about The Irishman is a series of circumstances has led a whole bunch of people to believe it's unbelievably boring.
Yes.
Like the mechanism by which it was delivered has almost made it purpose built for people to be like, this is dull, and I can turn it off and watch anything else or do anything else right now.
Yeah.
Like a huge mistake, Scorsese.
Yeah.
Master of your craft.
What about Rambo for you?
Oh, that's bad too. Oh, I mean, Dark Phoenix is bad, but at least it has Margaret.
Yeah, you're right. But Rambo doesn't have a Margaret.
Yeah,
Where's its Margaret?
Yeah, that is also dull. Man, it's all right. Well, here's the thing, and again, Glass it wasn't on track to disappoint me because it's Shyamalan and I don't care for most of his work.
Yeah.
It was disappointing to me in that the premise was very interesting and I don't think he went anywhere interesting with it.
Yeah.
So that's disappointing. That makes it a bad movie for me.
Yeah, okay.
If it were a story where it's analyzing a bunch of people that think they're superheroes and that is the movie and it didn't turn into weird secret society cults or whatever and boring action sequences at the end. But Rambo isn't anything.
Yeah.
Again, it's the most generic script available. Thank you for reminding me of it.
You're welcome.
I didn't even remember it, which I think is
and it didn't come out that long ago.
No. I saw it at Gold Class.
Why did you do that?
Because it was the only available screening before the podcast. And they charged me $7 for a Coke.
I was going to say, to at least get a good feed.
I got some sort of mac and cheese situation.
Didn't make
like a
Rambo
croquette.
better.
It was like a ham and mac and cheese croquette,
Yeah.
I think. It was nice.
Okay.
Anyway, that didn't even save it. It was a bad movie. It's
Yeah.
bad and generic and who cares?
And not as good as any of the other ones. Even 3, which is bad.
Yeah.
At least 3 is like interesting-ish action, or
has
they did it or something.
At least it has an identity.
Yeah.
Which maybe it was just that's all 80s action movies look like that, but at least it's memorable in that way.
Yeah.
This isn't memorable.
And all the action is at the end.
Yeah.
And it's not that good either. And then he rides into the woods.
Can't remember.
You'd never go just south of the border. You'd never go there a day. And I'll have to kill you as soon as I look at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
not good.
No, I'm not.
Especially
I'm
after-
not blaming all Mexicans, but just a select few.
I know the cartels are terrible,
just
obviously.
all the ones that are in. Just all the ones that are in.
And we
this
didn't even
movie.
see the revenge he got on some of the people. The revenge
true,
wasn't
yeah.
even good.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah.
And also off the back of like Creed and Creed 2.
Yeah. All right.
And, the good stuff that he can do.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't just go, he's a generic boxing movie, let's put Rocky in it.
Yeah, they did that already. It was called Old Mates Fight or something.
Oh,
With De
yeah,
Niro.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Punch Olds.
Punch olds.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got to say Will Smith has a cloner as a clone.
Okay, right.
Same Rambo. All right.
Fair enough.
Best just a movie. Not something that's terrible. Something you went, they certainly made that.
Yeah.
Godzilla, Hobbs and Shaw,
Yep.
Captain Marvel, and the other Captain Marvel. As in
Shazam, Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Hobbs and Shaw for me, 100%.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It is. Oh, God, that's such just a movie, isn't it?
It's
got some more on here if you want, actually.
Oh, yeah, go
They
ahead.
got Rise of Skywalker. Ooh, Far From Home's in here. What do you think of that?
Controversial, Collings.
Yeah, that's right.
You're on slightly thinner ice than you were before, which was very thick ice. Immensely thick ice.
Alita Battle Angel is also on here.
Ooh.
That's pretty just. I think that's
Takes a swing,
that's
though,
doing
doesn't
some
it?
stuff.
Takes
so
a swing,
I'm
yeah.
going to say I'm not going to put that on there for me.
Yeah, I don't think anything swayed me off Hobbs and Shaw at this point.
Hobbs and Shaw. Yeah.
Statham, love him. Rock, love him. Elba, love him. The lady, she's good too. Whoever that is, can't remember.
I can't remember either.
Yeah.
She's maybe in one of the Mission Impossible movies.
Helen Mirren, love her.
Love her. Bless her.
Good
love her.
cast in a astoundingly generic movie. If this were on Netflix with a no-name cast, I'd never watch it.
Yeah, fair enough. I wouldn't have watched this if we didn't do this.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot, Hobbs and Shaw, for coming out at a time when
Could have
do a
been great.
podcast.
Could have been. And again,
Yeah.
off the back of
Some of the Fast and Furious movies.
7 and to some extent 8.
Yes.
Just not even that many cars in it.
There was a transforming motorbike.
And there was a bunch of trucks that all got linked together on a helicopter. But besides that.
That was crap, though.
Yeah, it was crap. Yeah.
Before we do, Collins has snuck this in. Best podcast, and it's just got the Weekly Planet. I disagree. There's not even an other option.
Yeah, right.
But look, if that's the only option, then we got to go with it, don't we?
That's true, yeah.
Thank you to everybody who voted for it, who had to, because you have to vote for it to complete the form.
Yeah, good.
Best movie, though.
I'm ready.
These are my top 4.
Okay.
Parasite, I Am Mother, Endgame, Dolomite.
Okay, well, there's a streaming on there?
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
Is Ad Astra just a movie?
I think there's interesting elements to it.
At the up top there is.
And it's
but then
but
at the end,
it's really
like,
just
Dad, why are you
it's just an extended metaphor for you. People will do anything to impress their dads.
Yes. So
I've got a much
because
your dad's crazy.
I've got a much bigger list here if you want.
Okay. Yep.
Ad Astra, Aladdin, Alita, Avengers Endgame, Booksmart, Brightburn, Captain Marvel, Detective Pikachu.
I already know what my answer is. It's coming up. It's Knives Out, probably.
Alchemist, okay, Frozen 2, Glass, Godzilla, The Irishman, It Chapter 2, John Wick 3, which we haven't really talked about, thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Jumanji, Knives Out, The Lighthouse, Marriage Story, Midsummer, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, Portrait of a Lady, Shazam, Spider-Man, Spies in Disguise, Star Wars, Toy Story 4, X-Men Dark Phoenix, Us, Zombieland, Double Tap.
For me, it's Knives Out.
I might say
Colourful and fun and a proper
movie.
A proper movie and a proper murder mystery, but like taking a little skew.
Ensemble.
Great ensemble. Everybody's great in it, even, and some surprising newcomers as well as, very established actors. Chris Evans gets a chance to play against type, which I always enjoy. Daniel Craig gets a chance to play against type.
He's very good at this.
And he's built that weird...
I hope they make another one.
I see, there we go. That's what I'm talking about, I would watch another Benoit Blanc murder mystery. Bring back some of the characters. Give Chris Evans' character some information that he needs, or some of the other characters.
Go back and see him?
So you go back and see him,
Sure.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Parasite, but also maybe Dolomite, but also maybe... I Am Mother, but also Endgame, but also Knives Out.
Yeah,
very good year for movies. Maybe not a great year for blockbusters, but a good year for movies in general.
Yeah. I like movies.
Me too. Is that it?
I think it's it.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I can do the...
You saved the previous 2 hours, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So let's do... should I do what people have written?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh, add the write-ins. Yes, please.
Yes. So that came out this year. Jessica Jones 3. Best movie I haven't seen, Jojo Rabbit. Best comic book movie, Endgame. Worst comic book movie, Dark Phoenix. Mason's just opening a chocolate, everybody, to set in celebration. Best reboot, Pikachu. Worst reboot, Lion King. Movie not a reboot or sequel, Knives Out. Best sequel, prequel, another movie, Endgame. Unnecessary live action remake of A Better Thing, Aladdin. Game is on, Terminator. Best hair, Captain America and Endgame. Worst hair, Hawkeye, obviously. Best rig, Thor.
If anybody has and some other ideas for worst hair, please let us know.
Yes. Best rig, Thor. Best cameo, not Henry Cavill in Superman. Best CGI acting, aging, Nick Fury and Captain Marvel. Other best CGI, Spider-Man illusion sequence for Mysterio. Worst CGI, Cats. Best villain, Thanos. Best Hulking Grey Boy, mocap, Mysterio. Best trailer, Wonder Woman. Worst trailer, Cats. Best animated, Toy Story 4. Best game adaptation, Pikachu. Best fucked the ending, Game of Thrones. Best Star Wars, Mandalorian. Best horror, Us comedy, Booksmart. Murder mysteries, Knives Out. Streaming, El Camino. Streaming service, Netflix. Biggest disappointment, Game of Thrones. Stop making Disney live action remakes. Best TV show, Mandalorian. Best comic, Spider-Man Life Story. Best game, Fallen Order. Best meme, Big Sandwich.
There we go.
Most anticipated, Tenet, which we'll probably talk about now. What we anticipated. That'll be our next episode after we take a break. And worst movie is Cats, and best movie is Avengers Endgame at 43%. So there you go.
Well done, everyone.
Well done,
we did it yet again.
We've done it. Again and never again, because it's the last
all the awards
episode.
will be distributed.
That's right. Oh, that was a long one.
Oh my God.
But the show's not over yet, Mason. Do you know why?
Because we have more segments in our podcast?
Yes, that's right. Oh. Specifically, what we're reading.
Oh, and then what we're going to read.
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? What are we reading today, Mason? I mentioned Spider-Man's pal, Jimmy Olsen, by Matt. It is Matt Fraction.
Superman's pal?
Sorry, yeah. Well, he's got many friends, all right?
I bet he does, yeah.
I'm starting to read that, which I'm looking forward to. Also, I'm going to try and read a book over the summer.
Incredible.
I know.
Oh, my God.
Also, like I said, Suggestible, the other podcast I do with my wife, Claire, we went through a bunch of stuff that we loved from this year.
Yes.
Which if you want some recommendations over the summer, might be a good place to go.
Yeah.
Different stuff from here for a lot of it.
I finished watching Rick and Morty because it's on.
Oh yes,
it's on Netflix if you're in
now,
Australia. Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, it's so good.
It's a good show.
I
want them to get to the arcing story now.
Right, okay, yeah. Right, because these were just a series of unconnected adventures, really.
Yeah.
There wasn't any overarching story in these.
Or is there?
But man, is there?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't think there was.
I'm sure there's an Easter
These
egg
are very dense episodes. Like I feel like they've gone, okay, we should put absolutely as much effort into the B plot as the A plot.
Yes.
You know, sometimes it was just Jerry's trapped in the house or something.
Yeah.
He's really there's a
He's
lot
out
of-
there.
He's out there, yeah. You're right, I did love the heist episode.
Yeah.
Just a series of people putting together heists. Even
Yeah.
though I love heist movies.
I know you do.
But that's what makes me able to laugh at the heist episode.
No, I don't laugh at the things that I like, Mason. I take them very seriously.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You can absolutely do that.
I think that's it for me.
I'm going to watch The Witcher this
Yeah,
week,
cool.
probably.
Excellent. Well, then let's do the letters theme. I know we're speeding through it, Mason, but it's the end of the year.
Okay, let's speed through it.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away.
I know they're here right now. We're going to do letters.
If you do want to reach the show, #WeeklyPlanetPod on Twitter or
right.
weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. One of these I've already talked about. Thomas says, I will up my Patreon donation to $10 a month if you guys see and review cats on the podcast. We will try and do it when we get back.
Yep.
So make good on that promise, Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah.
The big promiser man. Always promising things. Does he follow through? We don't know.
Don't know. What do you got?
This is from Sarah King. Says, hello from Texas.
Hello from Texas.
I'm curious to know what you all think about the idea of movie and TV shows being so easily accessible nowadays.
I love it.
Like knowing well in advance through Twitter or even movie news sites that an actor is signed on or seen filming a movie or TV show and
that
spoiling
part
the
of it.
potential surprise factor when seeing the movie in the theaters for the first time. I mean, it says you guys make half your show about movie and TV news and the information provided by the accessibility, which is great, but sometimes I feel like all the info available makes it a little less fun to go see something. I think that's absolutely
I think
fair.
some people like that, though. Some people don't mind being spoiled, so I know who's in it going in.
Yeah, right,
Some
right,
people
right.
love that. I'm in the middle on that somewhere.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very interested, but also there's some things I'm like, we should know that. But I still think I still get surprised, though. There's still some things that surprise me.
Like, it's good to know, for example, that Kumail Nanjiani got absolutely ripped for Eternals.
That's all I want to know.
Because if we went into Eternals and he was ripped all of a sudden, we'd just start screaming.
I don't know what I do.
Exactly, right? I don't know. I wonder how much of that also is leaks and how much it is.
That's the other thing, isn't it? Because a lot of it is leaks and not official casting necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is there a way though to get more? Because often it's like, oh, we're seeing this character. He's on set, and there's some candid photos of him, and he's wearing this costume or whatever.
Yeah. So that means we know it's set in this time.
Exactly.
period and
I
whatever.
mean, isn't there a way to do a more closed set? I often wonder if some of that is like, well, we'll put them out there.
Yes.
And we'll put them out on the street in the silly costume, and then people will start talking about it, kind of thing. Surely there's a better way. You know what I mean?
There's got to be a better way.
If you want to conceal this sort of stuff, surely they would just close set.
Yeah.
Or like bring him in a blacked out SUV.
Which they do obviously.
Yeah, which I think maybe I'd be more in favour of.
There's got to be a better way.
There's got to be a better way, exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. So, yeah, I don't know how much of this, I'd probably still read a bunch of this stuff, like the main stuff on the main sites.
Yeah.
I'd probably still read anyway,
Yeah.
even if I wasn't doing this, because I always kind of did anyway.
Yeah.
This is from last tweet of the year, Erotic Neurotic. This is a spoiler for The Rise of Skywalker,
Oh
by the
my
way.
goodness, okay.
King Ralph or Fred Claus
Yes.
style movies centered on Emperor Palpatine's incompetent son.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
You up for that?
I think so,
Derek
yeah.
Palpatine, I think we decided his
All
name
right.
was.
Yes. What do you think he gets up to?
I think it's like an Austin Powers Dr. Evil and his son situation.
Oh, okay, right. So Ian McDiarmid is in this.
Yes.
Okay, right, cool.
And he's like, his son just wants to play Space Xbox.
Yeah,
But his
yeah.
dad's like, we got to build it.
And he's always starting a space band or whatever. And he's like, man, I'm getting all these cool gigs. Our band must be so good. And it's just like, no, your dad's the emperor. That's how you're doing that. That's
You big dumbass.
You big dumbass, exactly.
Shot you out of a tube. You're just a weird cloned man or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
Yeah, I would watch that movie. I feel like there was an era in Star Wars, probably around Tag and Bink in the 90s, if that was from the 90s, where they would have made a comic of this. Now they won't. They take everything very
Yeah,
seriously
right.
and,
Okay, yeah. Like a
there's
very
no
silly
spoof
take on this.
stuff,
Yeah,
no
right.
stuff, yeah.
We can only hope Mad Magazine, unless I think they got cancelled as well.
So we can only hope that they bring back Mad Magazine for this one issue.
Right.
Of this one thing that we want.
Yeah, Derek Palpatine. This is an email from Charlotte Sadler. Every year she makes a Weekly Planet advent calendar.
Oh, yes.
It's in the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group if you want to join in. But that's been going on through December. It's got all heaps of references throughout the year.
Oh, my goodness.
Corn of Coblin.
But that wasn't even on the list.
Abby McBeal. Big Sandwich.
Oh, I can't believe Abby McBeal wasn't on the list. That's one of my faves.
That's a good one, yeah. Yeah, football field. All sorts of, oh my god. Robert Battenbat.
Yep.
People unsubscribing from your YouTube channel. All the greats.
Is there actually a comment from that? Like, did you take an actual comment?
No, just to unsubscribe for Mr. Sunday Movies. Anyway, good. Thank you, Charlotte.
I was building a hate mail, but it's just not quite that good.
Okay, well,
So
we
I'll bring
save
it back.
for.
Yeah.
We want some primo.
Yeah.
hate
I'm
mail,
like,
you
I'm
know?
looking through it. I'm like, these are okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, is that the show?
Let's see.
Just say yes, Mason.
No. Look, okay, this one just says Sean Maguire. It's from Sean Maguire. It says, The Rise of Skywalker is highly entertaining, but only in the same way The Room is entertaining.
Sure. Sean Maguire, the same guy the lead guy in Meet the Spartans?
Yeah, that's who it is.
Okay, good. I actually saw a really interesting email about The Rise of Skywalker, which I'm going to try and find right
check
now.
it out.
I can't find it, but basically, I'm sorry I don't have it in front of me, but it's somebody who's, I think he was about 15 and he kind of grew up, and this is his current trilogy, and he loved The Rise of Skywalker. And the point of the email was that the people who grew up with the prequels love the prequels, the people who grew up with the originals love the originals, and the people, like, even if, you know, there's going to be people in 10, 15 years who are going to really be like, this is the definitive Star Wars trilogy. This is my kind of Star Wars trilogy.
I grew up with the sequels?
Maybe that's it, yeah.
The Force Awakens was the first Star Wars film I'd properly watched when my dad dragged me to the cinema when I was 14. This is Rachel C. I thought it was fantastic, so I went back to watch the originals and obviously loved those two, etc. I love The Last Jedi and also love The Rise of Skywalker. I guess the sequel trilogy is the one I grew up with, and it's the one I feel most attachment to. So I think for people like me whose introduction to Star Wars was the sequel trilogy, this film will be well received because it's the fun, kind of emotional culmination of a genuinely solid trilogy.
There. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
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 It's good that, yeah, like what you like, even if it's a crap thing. Just kidding. I like most of the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, anyway, yeah. I just think that's really interesting, and I think that's probably we're going to all come, like, it's going to get a different perspective in 10, 15 years, hopefully when we're all dead, Mason.
Oh my God, one can hope so.
I know. Is that the end of the show for this year?
That is the end of the show,
Bring us home.
Thank you, everybody, for listening and telling your friends about our podcast, possibly in a positive way. We'd definitely appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for giving us a nice review. James, you have a nice review there?
This is from Luan the Lou. It just says, dope. 5 stars. You can do it in-app. It says, these guys are awesome. Always look forward to Monday so I can get my Weekly Planet fix. This one says stools, but the O's, stooks, but the zeros are O's or vice versa. This podcast is like an albatross. 5 stars. Really, it is. Albatross is like a bad omen, isn't it? For like sailors?
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. Still got 5 stars. We'll take it. So that really helps the show if people could do that. Keep going, sorry.
If you would like to get in contact with us, you can go to Weekly Planet Pod at Facebook, at Gmail, at Twitter, at Bandcamp, where we have all our many audio commentaries, which you can also buy on the Best of the Weekly Planet tape USB thingamajigs, which we sell, which is there'll be a link in the description. I think they're on back order right now, but if you want to get one for the new year, it's very quick.
You can if you will.
Yeah. You can also go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group, as we've mentioned. Fantastic stuff in there. Fantastic content.
Great.
Fantastic conversations. Good fun.
Yep.
You can also go to the planetbroadcasting.com, sign up to our newsletter, which has all the podcasts produced by the Planet Broadcasting Network.
You want something to listen to over the summer?
There's a new one coming. There's a new one out right now, right?
There is, of course. It's called
Only Wrong Answers.
Only Wrong Answers. But if people in Australia would know Kate McLennan and Kate McCarthy.
Yeah.
McCartney.
The Kates.
The Kates. I think I said McCartney, but I said it wrong, didn't I?
Yes.
Love, take me down
to the streets. Anyway, they were they created 2 shows, the Catering Show, which was kind of a piss take of
morning television?
Cooking shows. And then they had a show called Get Crackin', which was basically a piss take of morning shows. And they're really terrific. And they have their very own podcast right now.
And they're really funny.
And they answer questions.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. And it's really exciting to have them be a part of this dumb thing. Yeah.
Let's see what else. If you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies, as the ad at the start of the show mentioned. If you want to chuck in a buck, we'd definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Certainly, coming in the new year. You can also click on the Amazon affiliate link in our episode description.
Yes.
That helps us out in some way.
Yes.
If you want to buy if you want to buy a box set,
Gemini Man.
I was going to say a box
One
set.
side is young Will Smith. The other
One side is Carlton from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But he's old.
He's old.
He's old. The old one. He's the one who's suing Fortnite or whatever it is because they stole his dance.
But apparently you can't trademark that.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, great stuff.
I think you should be able to trademark.
I agree.
Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes.
Yes.
We have t-shirts on tpublic.com. Just search for The Weekly Planet. You can find all sorts of them. I saw someone on the group, they had a Nick Mason #1 Party Boy t-shirt.
Very good.
They were out in public with it, which is
it.
very impressive.
Very impressive.
I love it, personally. Wish I had your name here. I'll find it for next time. That's about it, I think.
That's about it.
See you in a couple of weeks.
There will be a best of episode
best of,
which
yeah.
the Collings is putting together. We'll record an intro and outro for that and probably an ad. So,
if you have someone on the fence about listening to the podcast, play him that and see if it makes any sense at all.
It won't. Give him a better episode.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Send him the Batman v Superman episode.
Exactly. Or even the Star Wars one, I feel.
Yeah,
That's
right.
a more recent kind of one that they might be interested in. Also, we're going to be taking a couple weeks break after that. I'm not exactly sure.
I never know.
Yeah, but we're not going to be around, but then we'll be back.
Yes.
At some point. And there'll be some YouTube channel stuff sporadically, maybe. I don't know.
Cool.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so tired, Mason.
We'll take some time off.
That was my plan. That was my plan.
Nice.
You should take some time off too.
Okay.
You got to go to work though also.
I do have to go to work, it's true.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you in the new year.
Grab that jam, you guys. Have a great end of 2019.
Safe and happy.
Safe and happy. We'll see you next decade. see you the next decade, mate. See you. We'll see it in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
And when they come back, we'll be like, haven't seen you this year.
Oh, good stuff.
Good stuff.
Oh, my goodness. We should have opened with that.
I agree.
Yeah.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
I mean, if you want. It's up to you.